presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports.
Peterson takes off for a second.
Rundown.
Now the throw is going to come to the plate. It is going to be wide, and the Governors will steal one away. The throw was wide for the pitcher in Brooks, and the Governors steal the win.
It's time for Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Governor Baseball is brought to you by Comtech, True Green Camelon, Edward Jones Financial, Overhead Doors, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, Yay Gare, AGE, First Fidelity, and the State Farm Becky Potsuba Agency.
That one is launched to left field. Charlie Simpson, a 3-run shot. It's a 4-1 lead. His first of the year.
And by Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota. Oahe Federal Credit Union. Missouri River Dentistry. Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping. Agtegra. Ferding Electric. Envirotech. And Kruger Climate Systems.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And there is your ball game. George Stallion will get the strikeout to finish off the game.
Governor Baseball is also brought to you by Stalkin Peterson LLP, Wagner Auto, the South Dakota Office of Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection, Gales Gas, First United Methodist Church, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, Beck Motor Company, and May Adam.
As Sun and Shine will launch this out to left field. That one's going back to the wall, and it got out, and it was a fair ball. It's a home run for Sun and Shine. A 3-run shot for Sun and Shine, his first varsity home run.
And by American Family Insurance, Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, Lamb Motors, Bank West, CHS River Plains, Faith Lutheran Church, Graham Tire, Kathy Sunshine Properties, Venture Communications, and the American of Fort Pierre.
The 1-2 from Lineback. That one taken for strike 3, and that's the ball game. 9 strikeouts for Rich Lineback. He goes the distance, allowing just 1 run, a 2-1 win for the Pierre Governors in game number 1.
And now, Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR.
And a good afternoon as we welcome you to the home opener. The Pierre Governors take on the Aberdeen Smitties in our first game here at Hyde Stadium in 2025. The Govs come in looking pretty good so far. 5-1 overall in the season, 4-0 in South Dakota games. They are number 1 in the South Dakota standings. The Aberdeen Smitties, this is the high school baseball version of the Aberdeen Smitties. They're still part of the Smitties program that will jump into Legion once the summer rolls around. But they're coming in at 2-0, having played just their first 2 games on Sunday, and they walloped Rapid City Central 20-5 and 23-8. But they did it with a lot of hits. They had 23 hits overall and 41 at-bats, a .561 batting average. We'll talk more about that, but they had a lot of hits. They drove in 34 of those 43 runs with RBIs. They walked 21 times, but they had 10 extra base hits. So regardless of what maybe the Pierre Governors or what Aberdeen Central was able to do against Rapid City Central, the stats kind of speak for themselves in saying that they hit the ball well. Again, regardless of pitching, regardless of how everything else went, they hit the ball really well. They gave up, 13 runs in those 2 games. Rapid City Central, hitting-wise, their stats aren't bad either. So it's really hard to kind of see exactly how the Aberdeen Smitties are looking this year, but we're going to get a good idea. They're going to get a good idea when they take on this Governor team here today, who right now at 5-1 overall have looked very good. Their team batting average needs to keep climbing as the weather is getting warmer, and it's not going to be warm tonight, but this team batting average at .218, they've been able to do a lot with their pitching. A team ERA at 3.25, a whip at under 1.5. Those are numbers, especially that whip at under 1.5. Those are great numbers to have to see successful opportunities for this Governor team to open up this 2025 season. Governors and the Aberdeen Smitties coming up here. They're already introducing the starting lineup, so we will step aside as we'll have the national anthem be played, and we'll come back and we'll get set for first pitch between the Governors and Aberdeen. Back in 3 minutes here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
technology solutions you can trust from a neighbor you know? Comtech, locally owned and serving Pierre and surrounding areas since 2009, is dedicated to keeping your home, farm, and business connected and secure. We offer a full range of services, from audio and video, security, surveillance, and networking with expert installation and support. Visit our storefront, call us at 605-224-4066, or visit our website, comtechplus.com, to experience the Comtech difference. Comtech, your local technology experts.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at envirotechwaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
When life throws you a curveball, May Adam Law Firm in Pierre is here to help you knock it out of the park. For over 130 years, we've been providing trusted legal expertise in business, family law, criminal defense, and more. Proud sponsors of this season's baseball action, we're committed to serving our community both on and off the field. Need legal advice? Step up to the plate with May Adam Law Firm. Visit mayadam.net or call today. May Adam, South Dakota's law firm since 1881.
Foundation problems don't get better with time, and they don't get less expensive to fix. But at some point, they will need to be dealt with, either when you sell your home or when a basement wall fails. But there is hope, because foundation problems don't get better with time, but they do get better with us.
Blackburn Foundation Repair is here to help. They specialize in basement waterproofing, crawl space and foundation repair, concrete leveling, radon testing and mitigation. Give them a call for a free estimate. 800-392-3389.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
As we welcome you back, we are getting set for first pitch between the Pierre Governors and the Aberdeen Smitties. Joe Winkler with you on this Thursday afternoon, just about ready to get to the Thursday evening. Weston Northrup is on the mound and getting set for his first starts of the season. He has thrown just 2/3 of an inning so far, as he will go against that lineup, and we'll tell you that lineup here in just a moment as he continues his warm-up tosses. It will be a chilly night here at Hyde Stadium, as it will be 52 degrees here at game time, feeling like 36 already into the 30s with the wind chill. But Weston Northrup is on the mound and ready to go. Lefty will dig in first as Jahil Avilas will step to the plate. The center fielder will lead things off. He is 6 of 7 so far in the 2 games against Rapid City Central with a double and a triple and 8 runs driven in. This is a team, the numbers are going to are just going to be gaudy throughout this entire first game when we talk about what they were able to do against Rapid City Central. As the first pitch is missing out high and outside for ball 1 at 4:54. We get started 6 minutes early with a chilly night. We're going to have to move rather quickly. Northrup will fire that one in, and it'll be fouled out of play, and the count's now 1-1 here to Avilas. Northrup so far, those 2/3 of an innings, he gave up 2 hits, 4 runs, walked 2. So that ERA and that whip will come down as long as he has a good outing. It's going to come down significantly. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Carter Schuffelbein will field at second. Quick throw to first, and he will retire the leadoff man. A quick moving Jahil Avilas, and there is one down here at the top of the first. As we go around the horn defensively, Ridge Leinbach is out in left. Porter Hunsley is in center. Sutton Sonnenschein is in right. Parker O'Brien at third. Dawson Getz at short. Carter Schuffelbein, who just made that play at second, to J.J. Buchholz at first. Charlie Simpson behind the plate, and Weston Northrup on the mound. Michael Dudenhofer will come to the plate. He is the opposing pitcher. Pitcher versus pitcher here with 1 out and nobody on. First pitch is in the outside corner for strike one. It is Dudenhofer followed by Ridley Waldo, the third baseman. Grant Beyer, the shortstop, will bat in the cleanup spot. Levi Hoffman, the catcher. Jackson Ladner will bat sixth, the first baseman. Braden Bowman, the right fielder, batting seventh, as that one will miss low, and it's now 1-1. Joe Cogley, the DH, batting eighth, and Jared Klutwick will be the left fielder, batting ninth. Wheeler Malsom is the second baseman that is not in the batting order. He is being hit for the DH, Joe Cogley. 1-1 pitch on the outside corner, again at the knees and taken for a strike, and the count's now 1-2. Dudenhofer so far, he's 3 for 4 with a single, double, and a triple, and 4 runs driven in, 750 batting average. This team hit .561 against Rapid City Central when they scored 43 runs in 2 games. Here's a ground ball up back to Northup, just missed him. O'Brien will come over from the third base position and fire a strike to Buchholz as he took the ball in front of Dawson Getz, and the third baseman in that right spot. And there's 2 quick ground outs from Weston Northrup, and a good start for Northrup and the Governors. And Ridley Waldo will come to the plate. Northrup missed it on the initial ground ball, but because O'Brien was coming in and where he was coming across the diamond, easy play for him to make, as this one will be flown out to left field. Ridge Leinbach will take a couple steps back. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Western Northrup, and the Govs retire Aberdeen here at the top of the first. No scores. We head to the bottom of the first on the American Family Insurance, the Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre.
Swing for the fences with a great deal from Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. Whether you need a powerful truck, a fuel-efficient sedan, or a spacious SUV, they've got the perfect lineup to keep you on the road and in the game. Don't strike out. Stop by today or visit CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, where the best deals in town are always in play.
It is the bottom of the first. No score on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. John Winkler with you. Blake Dean will join us here later on as we'll get past the 5 o'clock hour. He's got to get off of his full-time job before he comes here and joins me for the first baseball game here at Hyde Stadium for the season. We're looking forward to having Blake on the call with us here in just a little while. This Governor team, Carter Schuffelbein, the lineup is batting first, playing second base. Sutton Sonnenschein, the right fielder, batting second. Charlie Simpson, the catcher, will bat third. Dawson Getz, the shortstop, batting in the cleanup spot. Ridge Leinbach will play left field and bat fifth. Trevor Rounds, the DH, batting sixth. He is hitting for Northrup. J.J. Buchholz, the first baseman, will bat seventh. Porter Hunsley, the center fielder, batting eighth. And Parker O'Brien rounds out the order as he is the third baseman for this Governor team. They will go against the lefty Michael Dudenhofer, who did not pitch in those 2 games against Rapid City Central. They played on Sunday, so by that definition, if anybody had thrown over 80 pitches, they would not be available for today. This would be the 4th day off. But when you win by 15 in both games and you play 4 innings in both those games, you're not worried about anybody throwing over 80 pitches. They had 5 different pitchers throw, so everybody is available going into today. Aberdeen is playing on Monday again against Brookings, so that does leave a little bit, and obviously the Governors are taking on Mitchell on Monday, so that does leave a little bit of how you want to handle your pitching staff for the first time this year for this Aberdeen team, and really so for the Pierre Governors. Even though they played those 4 games Friday, Saturday, those Friday games you weren't so much worried about that because of the pitching being lined up. They were North Dakota games. They weren't the South Dakota games where everything was lined up for Saturday. You wanted to see guys have good outings on Friday, but if you had to, you would get them out at a certain point. And of course, they'd also be available for Thursday, as the first pitch will be fouled back by Carter Scheffelbein. And the count's 0-1. 286 so far for Scheffelbein, 6 of 21. Does have a double and 2 runs driven in. Now the leadoff spot here for the Governors. First pitch, or the 0-1 pitch at the knees for a strike, and the count's 0-2. And Scheffelbein had a quick take back over towards the third base coach and head coach Scott Rowie. Here's the 0-2. There's a line shot out into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit, and the Govs will lead off with a single. So a team that was hitting .218 overall gets a base hit in their first at-bat, where a team was hitting .561 went 1-2-3 in the first inning. It brings up Sutton Sunshine. And that also is the game of baseball, but when you played 6 games against some pretty good teams and you're 5-1, you know some of those hits are going to be coming as the season moves along. Here's Sutton Sunshine now, the runner on first and nobody out. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop, fielded by Byer. Flipped to second for 1, no chance at first, as Malsum put in his back pocket. So there is a fielder's choice ground out for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. And it brings up Charlie Simpson. Charlie Simpson, the catcher, he looks in at 150 batting average so far, but does have all 3 of his hits have been extra bases, a double and 2 triples for Charlie Simpson. So when he gets a hold of it, it goes far, as the first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. It's more of a major league type of average where the slugging percentage, you're looking for a high slugging percentage. I want to be missing outside, and the count's 2-0 here to Charlie Simpson. Bottom of the first, runner on first, and 1 away. Scheffelbein led off with a single. Fielder's choice for Sunshine. And now here's the 1-1 to Simpson. That'll be at the knees for a strike. The count's now make that 2-1. It was a 2-0 pitch. Aberdeen so far 2-0. They're number 8 in the standings. This is still early in the season. Here's the 2-1. That'll miss low and inside. The count is now 3-1 to Simpson. Good hitters count here. Try and drive somewhere. Wind is blowing out towards right field. Doesn't necessarily help the righties too much, but it can still carry its way if you get up in that jet stream. 3-1. Simpson will foul that one away, and the count's now 3-2. So far in the standings, Sioux Falls, Washington has played 9 games. They're 3-6, which is 16th right now. Rapid City Central's played 8. Nobody else has played more than that. Nobody's played 7 other than those 2 teams. So there's still a lot of baseball to be played. So while the Governors are in first, and you like that, there's still a lot of games left to still win. Runner takes off. This will be popped up left side. It is going to be towards out of play, and it will get out of play off the light pole. And the count remains full at 3-2. You are listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. Quite a few games to be played today. Yankton and Huron are playing a doubleheader. T and Mitchell, along with Washington, Jefferson, and Roosevelt Lincoln, are all playing just 1 game today. Try and keep you updated that Washington Jefferson starts at 6, Roosevelt Lincoln starts at 8. That's going to be a cold one to start 8 o'clock tonight. Here's a 3-2 pitch that is lined into left field for a base hit. Sunshine will stop at second. It's first and second here with 1 away. 2 singles so far in the inning for the Governors. And it brings up Dawson Getz, the cleanup man. We have a courtesy runner for Simpson. We will, as it will be Johnson that will be the courtesy runner. So Aiden Johnson will courtesy run for Simpson. First and second. Threatening here in the bottom of the first for the Governors. First pitch There's a ground ball right off the handle from Getz. The throw to second will one-hop the shortstop. The throw back to first. It's going to get wide of the first baseman off of his glove, and in to score will be Sonnenschein. Easily safe was Getz over at first. It goes down as a fielder's choice, but a throwing error from the shortstop Beyer, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Governors, and they still have a runner on at first with 2 away. So Sonnenschein scores on the throwing error. It's a fielder's choice on a 1-6 putout. But then a throwing error from the shortstop and Byers. Into the plate is Rich Leinbach, the left fielder, and he takes ball 1. It's a big run to score. One, because Getz was, the way that throw came, is this will be flown out to right field. It's going to be trouble down the line. It's going to land fair. Getz will round second. He's on his way to third. He will pull up at third base. It's the third single of the inning for the Governors, and his runners are at the corners now with 2 away here in the bottom of the first. So the inning continues now for Trevor Rounds. And the DH has a chance to drive in the second run of the inning for the Governors. Leinbach obviously would have driven in the run anyway, but that throw from the shortstop and Beyer after it was short hop from the pitcher and Dutenhofer was one that probably didn't need to happen, and the first baseman and Ladner couldn't just block it up cleanly as Rounds takes a big hack and swings and misses for strike 1. We'll see if there's a double steal of some kind, or at least a steal for Leinbach, who's over at first base. It is a lefty in Dutenhofer, so he has to make sure he goes home or puts himself into a pickle. Dutenhofer with the quick release, a fly ball down the right field line again. But this time the right fielder will move over and Bowman to make the catch, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the first. But not before a run scores on 3 hits in the inning. There was an error and 2 men left on base. 1 inning complete in the books here at Hyde Stadium on the home opener, and Pierre's got a 1-0 lead over Aberdeen. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Becky Potsaba and State Farm Insurance are here to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
Top of the second, a 1-0 lead of the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard for the Pierre Governors. And it will be 4, 5, and 6. Grant Beyer, Levi Hoffman, and Jackson Ladner. The first 3 hitters here for Aberdeen, who went 0 for 3. And their first, in that first inning, first pitch missed low for ball 1. And I say that just because when they had 23 hits in a span of 8 innings, really actually only 7 innings that they end up hitting in. They played 4 in that first game, and they only hit in 3 of those innings in the second game, as that pitch will miss upstairs, and the count's now 2-0. I mean, you're averaging 3 hits an inning, and you only had 3 at-bats in that first inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch. There's a line shot. That's going to get right past the glove of Schuffelbein into center field for a base hit, and there is the first hit of the ball game for Aberdeen. And Beyer will reach first to open things up. And it's now Levi Hoffman. Beyer had a triple. Here's Levi Hoffman, who went 1 for 2. 2 runs driven in. They scored 42 runs, or 43 runs in 2 games. So a lot of guys, pretty much everybody that got in the lineup, as this one be float out towards right field. Coming in to make the catch will be the right fielder in Sonnenschein. And there is 1 down here in the top of the second.
Now batting the first baseman, number 13, Jackson.
And it's now Jackson Ladner, the first baseman, as Ladner comes in. He went 1 for 3 on Sunday, drove in 4 runs, with that one hit being a double. First pitch from Northrup. Now it'll be flown out towards left field. Line box on his horse. That's going to get over his head, right off the wall. Rounding second into third. Getz will run it in. There'll be no throw it to second, and it's another double for Ladner to make it second and third. And just like that, Aberdeen is in business to try and tie and take the lead here in the top of the second. Brings up Braden Bowman, the right fielder. That one hit square off the wall out in left field. It's 324 down the left field line. I mean, that was any bit higher. That was definitely going over the fence on the line shot. But thankful for the Govs that fence isn't, just 2 feet high. Here's a ground ball right back up the middle. Slowed down by Northrup. Shufflebine will make the play. The throw to first will be in time. It is a tie game as the run does come in to score, but there are 2 away. It will be a 1-4-3 putout and an RBI ground out for Bowman. And there's now 2 away with a runner on third. And here's the DH, Joe Cogley. So Northrup doesn't so much need any particular way to get the out, just kind of get the third out. First pitch will be upstairs for ball 1. Cogley went 1 for 3, drove in 2 runs. Bowman, who gets the RBI, he was one of the few guys that didn't drive in a run who actually had a base hit against Rapid City Central. That one's fouled away, so I guess a little bit of justice on the side of Bowman, who's back in the dugout, driving in that tying run here in the top of the second. When he saw everybody else getting RBIs, and he couldn't find a way to get an RBI. 1-1 pitch, curveball that's going to be floated out of play. It'll drop in front of us, well in front of us. And the count's now 1-2. We'll see if maybe this year is the year. At some point that a foul ball comes away, it's right back into the window to make a catch. 1-2 pitch. That one will be taken for strike 3 at the knees, and that will retire the side. But a run does score on 2 hits in the inning, no errors, and 1 man left on base. After an inning and a half, it is all square, 1-1 between Pierre and Aberdeen. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
For over 60 years, Ferding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Ferding Electric has you covered. If you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Ferding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684.
7-8-9 here for the Pierre Governors as we welcome you back here at Hyde Stadium in the bottom of the second in a 1-1 tie on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. J.J. Buckles, Porter Hunsley, and Parker O'Brien. He might reach his base. Back to the top of the order for Carter Shufflebine. Governors had 3 hits in that first inning, but had just 1 run score, and that was the run scoring at the time was in part to an error, but would have scored anyway as Lineback had a base hit. All it did was just keep him from getting an RBI. But it is going to be J.J. Buckles leading things off. As Buckles so far, 167 batting average, 2 for 12, both hits being singles. Still looking for that first RBI. Governors have struck out just 51 times so far in 6 games. So just around 9 per game. A little less than 9 per game. His first pitch is over for strike 1. Not quite what you like to see, but it is still early on, and those bats will continue to heat up. Maybe not so much today with it being cold. As they're swinging a miss, and the count's now 0-2. But I mean that it's going to be just a little bit tougher with how cold it will be by the end of the night tonight. And what could have been if we had played yesterday, where the weather had waited to be as good as it was yesterday to today. There's a swing and a miss by Buckles, and a 3-pitch strikeout to open things up here in the bottom of the second. And it brings up now Porter Hunsley. Hunsley so far just 3 at-bats, looking for that first hit in his varsity career. He has scored 3 times, though, as the right-handed hitting center fielder will dig in and take strike 1. 4 straight strikes to open the inning here for Dudenhofer. Lefty versus righty matchup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That'll be missing outside. The count's 1-1. So no immaculate inning upcoming for Dudenhofer. Wasn't quite to the halfway point of it. Anyway. Mentioned in the top half of the inning, 324 down the left field lines, 383 out in left center, 378 in right center, and 324 down the right field line. Here's the 1-1. We'll miss low, and the count's 2-1 here to Hunsley. I gotta say how nice and green the outfield grass is here at Hyde Stadium. Looks in really great condition to open up the season, as it counts now 3-1. All of Hyde Stadium looks pretty good, considering the lack of moisture we had all winter long, and then trying to do the best that you can to get things going as quick as you can. Here's a 3-1. That's over for a strike, not in the best spot for Hunsley where he was looking to try and swing. So the count's now full at 3-2. On deck is Parker O'Brien. See what Dudenhofer has on the full count pitch to Hunsley. Missing upstairs, and that'll be our first walk of the ball game for either side. So there's 1 on and 1 out for the number 9 man in O'Brien, as the third baseman will step to the plate. O'Brien 3 for 15 so far, does have an RBI, 4 runs scored. All 3 hits are singles, but see what the job is for him to do here with 1 on and 1 out in the top of the lineup due up next. From the stretch, first pitch, ground ball, high chopper over the head of the third baseman into left field for a base hit. Waldo leapt for it, but could not come away with it. And it's first and seconds on a base hit for Parker O'Brien. And Hyde Stadium, talk about how great it is. Well, it's great for Parker O'Brien right now. Get a little bit of a hop to get a base hit. And it's now Carter Shufflebine with runners at first and second. Shufflebine singled to lead off the bottom of the first, as the Govs have already hit around here with 1 out in the bottom of the second. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. A pitch in the dirt, looking for something maybe a little bit more straight than what Dudenhofer applied to him. Base hit could score a run and give the Govs the lead right back. 4 hits so far here for the Govs. Here's the 0-1. That one's upstairs. Not a bad spot there. That was a good pitch after throwing one low and in the dirt. Came up right above the letters to try and get Shufflebine to chase and maybe pop up or swing and miss. Shufflebine didn't offer, and the count's even at a ball and a strike. 1-1. Be again upstairs, and the count's now 2-1. On deck is Sutton Sunshine, who ground into a fielder's choice. They're holding on the runner over with the shortstop, and Byer, who has to get back to his position. This will be popped up foul, right side. The wind will take it out of play and won't bring it back into play. And the count is now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here to the Governor leadoff man and second baseman Carter Shufflebine. Hunsley's at second, O'Brien at first. Now the second baseman will hold on the runner at second base. Malsum is holding on Hunsley. Here's the 2-2. That one is taken for strike three. I think Shufflebein was maybe looking for something else, and that one painted the outside corner. 4 strike, 3 second strikeout of the inning. And it brings up now Sutton Sun and Shine. So now with 2 outs, off on contact. Base hit will score Hunsley from second. First pitch from Dudenhofer. That'll bounce in and a good block. Runner takes off for third, no throw. Hunsley read that one well, and as it was blocked by Hoffman, he just couldn't find his legs under him to get up cleanly to try and grab the ball and throw it to third. And both runners advanced 90 feet. And now a chance for maybe 2 RBIs here for Sun and Shine. Count is 1-0. To the Governor right fielder. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball left side. Stabbed over at third, and the throw to first is low, and staying on the bag at first. Doing the splits was Ladner. Waldo had a huge play. And now are they going to maybe ask for help with the home plate umpire? Runner stays over at third, and they do say that he is out, so the run does not score, and the inning does come to an end. Waldo with a great play over at third base, and then stretching was Ladner at first. And it retires his side. No runs. They do get a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. 2 completes. It is 1-1 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Venture Communications has deep roots in rural South Dakota. Venture now proudly provides fiber to the home with 100% of our customers, enabling them to enjoy super fast and reliable internet connections. We'd like the opportunity to keep you in touch with the people and resources that matter most. 100% fiber and 100% committed to rural South Dakota. Call Venture Communications today at 605-852-2224, 605-852-2224, or online at venturecom.net.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
It is the top of the third. No score, or make that 1-1 score on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. Tight score on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. It is 9-1-2. Jared Klutwick, Jahil Avilas, and Michael Dudenhofer, the first 3 hitters against Weston Northrop here in the top of the third. Klutwick will come to the plate. He went 1 for 2, doubled with an RBI in those 2 games. We'll see if Braden Bowman, Drake Soderlund, Branson Peterson, and Carson Borg, and Joe Cogley, if any of those guys will pitch, as this one is fouled back to the screen for strike 1 to open things up here at the top of the third. Those 5 guys all threw on Sunday, and they're all available today, but we'll see how they handle the pitching staff. You would think that at least one of those 5 guys would end up throwing again today, unless you have 2 complete games from your pitchers, as that one's fouled at the plate off of Klutwig, and the count's now 0-2. So far, 1 strikeout for Weston Northrop. 2 strikeouts for Dudenhofer, the opposing pitcher for Aberdeen. Here's the 0-2 pitch. I want to miss low, and the count's 1-2, trying to get Klutwig to chase, but not biting at it. Playing the left-handed hitter straight up here are the Governors. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Northrop's now got his 2nd strikeout, back-to-back strikeouts. And there's 1 down here in the top of the third. And it will bring up back to the top of the order in Jahil Avilas.
Now batting center fielder number 3, Jahil Avilas.
Avila's grounded out to Shufflebine, the second baseman in his first at-bat. The lefty digs back in, so back-to-back lefties, somewhat back-to-back lefties in the order. Because we flip it around, so yeah, technically it's still back-to-back. First pitch misses for ball one to Avilas. 1-0. That'll be at the top of the zone for a strike, and the count's now even at a ball and a strike. There is a possibility of maybe some rain that will fall at some point tonight. Here's a ground ball, third base side. That is stopped by O'Brien. Got up from his knees to make the play to throw to first to retire Avilas. Another good play by the third baseman, O'Brien, and there's two quickly down here at the top of the third. And it will bring up Dudenhofer. Two great plays over at third base so far here for O'Brien. In two complete different spots in the infield, one behind the pitching mound, and that one more down the line. So here's now Dudenhofer. First pitch, swing and a miss on a slow breaking ball that Dudenhofer couldn't wait up on. The count is 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That'll bounce in. The count is even at a ball and a strike. Dudenhofer ground out to O'Brien. So he is 0 for 1 on that play behind the pitching mound in that top of the first inning. Northrop will deliver from the windup. 1-1, another curveball that is going to be swung on and missed by Dudenhofer, and the count's now 1-2. And Northrop looking for another clean inning here in the top of the third. They'll get the sign and deliver the 1-2 pitch. Another curveball waiting that time, grounding it over the shortstop on a nice hop from Getz. A throw off the bag, and then Buckles can't hold on to the ball as he was trying to make the tag, and Dudenhofer ran right through Buckles, and the ball swung around off of his glove and all the way to the second baseman, Shufflebine. And so that'll end up being, it has to be an error, but it's almost got to be on Buckles. Because since he didn't, technically, yes, the throw's there from Getz, the out's going to be made. But because Getz didn't hold on the ball, it'll be his error over at first. So there's 2 outs and a runner on. There's a pitch in the dirt blocked up by Simpson for Ridley Waldo. So it's the first error of the day for the Governors. As Waldo, who flew out of the left fielder, Linebach. Had a courtesy runner for Dudenhofer, the pitcher. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-1. And it is Jackson Post that is running for Dudenhofer over at first base. Counts 1-1 here to Waldo, the number 3 man in the batting order. That pitch will miss just inside, another curveball that didn't break across the plate. Counts now 2-1. Gotta make sure you get out of this inning. Don't let a 2-out error come back to haunt you in this top of the third. Here's the 2-1. There's a ground ball back to Getz over at short. He will bobble. He'll still feel the throw. That one is on the money, and that will retire the side here at the top of the third. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We have played 2.5. It is 1-1 between Pierre and Aberdeen. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Yag Air Incorporated is your locally owned ag chemical and seed retailer. Yag Air Incorporated offers reliable ground and aerial application. For the latest seed and chemical pricing, contact Kyle at 605-280-8710 or Tony at 605-280-4771. Yag Air for all your ag chemical and seed needs. Kyle 605-280-8710 or Tony 605-280-4771.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, You, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
It is the bottom of the third and a 1-1 tie on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard, as it is going to be for the Governors 3, 4, and 5. Charlie Simpson, Dawson Getson, Ridge Leimbach. Anybody reaching base, Trevor Rounds will come to the plates. Blake Dean will join us here in just a little while, and we'll at least have maybe a game and a half with us as we've gotten to the bottom of the third already here in this first game of our doubleheader. As it is a 1-1 tie here on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. Charlie Simpson, he led off for his first at bat, got a base hit. He was retired on the fielder's choice. And on that play, the Governors were able to score that one run. When coming in to score on the throwing error from the shortstop and Byer was Sutton Sunshine. So Simpson, after his first single of the season, one will bounce in for ball one to open things up here in the bottom of the third. Wasn't his first hit, but it was his first single. After a double and 2 triples so far in the first couple weekends of the season. Here's the 1-0. There was a hard ground ball. That one was going to eat up the third baseman. He really had no opportunity of maybe waiting on that ball, taking another hop. He had to try and play it, and bounced off of his glove. And it will be a leadoff man on base. It will be an error charge to the third baseman in Waldo. Let's see if that opens the door here for Dawson Getz and this Governor team, as Aiden Johnson will come back in courtesy run again for Simpson. That's a tough bounce right away for Waldo, because if he waits back on it, he's got no shot at first to try and throw out Simpson run down the line. So he has to come in on it and try to make that play, but it bounced off of his wrist as the first pitch is a strike to Dawson Getz. But it does go down as an error, the second error for Aberdeen here in game number 1. Here's the 0-1 from Dutenhofer. Swinging a foul tip into the mitt for strike 2. The count's now 0-2. Aiden Johnson over at first. So far, the Governors they've only tried 1 steal, and that ended up being a foul ball. The lefty Dutenhofer, you got to read it right. Lefty can move over. Slide step again. This will be popped up, foul, out of play. Will it stay out of play? It will land just beyond the fence over the third base side. And the count remains at 0-2. And Coach Rowley had taken his hat off, shaking his head, and talking about stealing. I think maybe Johnson might have missed a sign over there to try and steal second. Obviously, back at first anyway with the foul ball. Usually, coaches don't usually like signs being missed, even if it maybe works out in your favor. Runner starts again, then we'll foul it off another time. And the count remains at 0-2. Another foul ball fried by Getz. Remains 0-2 here to the Governor shortstop. Johnson leads away from first. Dudenhofer delivers the 0-2 as a line shot into center field, but it'll be right to the center fielder to make the catch in Aviles. And they're now 1 down here in the bottom of the third. And it brings up Ridge Leimbach. Leimbach singled out in the right field in his first at-bat. He had a chance, would have driven in that first run had there not been an error on the Getz play. A high step there and a swing and a foul by Leimbach. Johnson got a great jump on it because Dudenhofer, who had been slide stepping most of the time, lifted his leg and went more of a higher leg kick and Johnson was off on first movement. But the hit and run was on because Leinbach was swinging at a pitch that was outside. Here's the 0-1. That's a slide step, and that one's fouled out of play, fouled to the left side. That counts quickly 0-2. And Dudenhofer is, once guys get on base, fires a lot of strikes. He has been excellent from the stretch when runners are on base. He'll come set again from the stretch. 0-2, runner takes off. That pitch will be in the dirt. The throw will come to second, and no shot. Johnson was sliding and already at the base by the time the ball is halfway there. A stolen base for Aiden Johnson. And there's a runner on at second. Now here with one away. So here is now the 1-2. Leinbach swings and misses. He was late on the fastball on the count, and that will be the third strikeout of the game now for Dudenhofer. And 2 down for now Trevor Rounds. Rounds base hit could score Johnson from second. Should score Johnson from second. Try and get the Govs back on top here in the bottom of the third. Johnson will lead away from second. Malsum, the second baseman, starting to creep in. First pitch is over for a strike one. Rounds wanted to offer at it, but did not. It was called strike anyway. And the count's 0-1 here to the DH. Flew out to the right fielder in Bowman in his first at-bat. The 0-1 runner takes off for third. The throw to third is going to be in time, and they will tag him out. And that will retire the side here in the bottom of the third inning. Getting caught stealing to finish off the inning. No runs, no hits, an error, and no one left on base. We head to the top of the fourth. It is 1-1 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Motor Company is proud to sponsor the Pierre Governors baseball team this season. Just like the Governors, we believe in hard work, dedication, and striving for excellence every day. As these young athletes give it their all on the field, Beck Motor Company is here to deliver top-quality Chevy and Cadillac vehicles and unbeatable service. We're committed to supporting our community, and there's no better way to show that than backing our hometown team. Visit Beck Motor Company today and find the perfect vehicle to fit your lifestyle. www.beck-motors.com. 605-224-5912. Go Govs!
Walking together in faith, living together in faith, working together in faith, that's who we are.
Hi, this is Pastor Sam Hanschke. I hope that our athletes have an excellent and successful season. I pray that God would continue to richly bless them. I invite you to join me in praying for our athletes during the year.
We're Faith Lutheran and we are glad you're here.
It is the top of the fourth, 1-1 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. And it is 4, 5, and 6 now here for the Aberdeen Smitties. Grant Beyer, Levi Hoffman, and Jackson Ladner. First pitch will be upstairs for ball one. Here to Beyer, who singled to lead off the top of the second. At second and third, Beyer did come in to score on the RBI ground out from Bowman. This will be shot foul to the left side. And the count is even at a ball and a strike. That ball will make its way into fair territory, so they have to go retrieve that ball before the next pitch is thrown. Leinbach will throw that one back towards the Aberdeen player running down to go grab it. Counts 1-1. The 1-1 from Northrop. There's a swing and a flying ball deep to left field. Leinbach will turn, watch this one, and get out for a leadoff home run for Grant Beyer. A pitch up in the zone, and the wind helped take that one out of here. And a solo shot for Beyer, and it's 2-1 Aberdeen. Second home run of the season for Aberdeen. Carson Borg had the other one. And for Byer, that is RBI number 2. So here is Levi Hoffman now. First pitch will be over for strike 1. So Aberdeen has their first lead on the solo shot from Byer. The 0-1. That'll miss inside. We'll see how Northrop responds after giving the home run. It's a big couple of outs. Resettle yourself back into the ball game. 1-1. There's a chopper out off the plate, right over to the third baseman, and O'Brien. He'll make the play, and a good comeback at bat for Northrop. A 5-3 ground out, and there's one down here in the top of the 4th. And it brings up Jackson Ladner, the first baseman.
First baseman, number 13, Jackson Ladner.
He's the only other guy with the hit so far for Aberdeen. 2 hits for Byer. He's got a single and a home run, and Ladner's got a double. First pitch will be upstairs for ball 1 to Ladner, the first baseman. Here's the 1-0 from Northrop. This will be flown out towards left field. Leinbach will settle under this one, though. He'll still go back a little bit more. That wind kept carrying it a little bit farther for him. He'll make the catch, and there's now 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. So the second time that Leinbach's made a catch that he's put the glove more behind his shoulder and behind his body to make the catch. Because that wind just kind of keeps moving things out, and the American flag is pushing out towards left field now as Bowman will take strike 1. He has the only other RBI now for Aberdeen with his RBI ground out. That made it a 1-1 tie in the top of the 2nd inning. Here's the 0-1. That one's shot foul back to the netting, and the count's 0-2 off to the right side. And Northrop a strike away here from trying to close out this top of the 4th inning. Here's the 0-2. That'll miss inside. 1-2 count. Here to Bowman. You'll see some activity out in the left field bullpen here shortly for Aberdeen. That one will just miss outside. Really good pitch there from Northrop. Not taking the bait was Ladner. Make that Bowman. It just misses for ball 2. Here's the 2-2. Curveball that will be at the top of the zone and taken for strike 3. And it retires his side. So 1-run scores on that one hit, a solo shot to lead off the inning. Then it was 1-2-3 after that. No errors, no one left on base. 2-1, Aberdeen leads as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Did you know it is important for your child to see the dentist at the time their first tooth erupt? A healthy smile begins at birth, and there are many variables, from healthy eating habits to good oral hygiene and routine dental care. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer. At Missouri River Dentistry, we enjoy working with people of all ages. Dentistry is our profession, but people are our focus. I invite families to come experience an office that uses the latest techniques and equipment to be sure you receive that healthy and happy smile. To schedule your appointments for your family, call us at 223-2021. Kids love us, parents trust us.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. Now is the time to order your new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, plus a good selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and auto body shop with trained technicians, along with a friendly financing team that'll work with you to find the best deal and one that'll fit your budget. Wagner Auto is your local full-service family-owned dealership for over 115 years. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com.
Back here, it is the bottom of the 4th inning. The Pierre Governors now down 2-1 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. And it will be 6, 7, and 8. Trevor Rounds will step back to the plate to lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. J.J. Buckholz followed by Porter Hunsley. He might reach his base number 9 man in Parker O'Brien. So Dudenhofer now pitching with the lead for the first time. in this ball game. And a big shutdown inning upcoming here for Dudenhofer if he can get it, and the Governors want to get right back into this game. They're not out of the game by any means, but they're trying to get themselves right back tied and maybe get that lead back. The lefty Dudenhofer from the windup will deliver the first pitch, and that will bounce in for ball one. No activity in the right field bullpen, and as I wouldn't say slowly, but they were moving down the left field line rather slow to get to the bullpen, didn't even catch the number, and then nobody is warming up anymore, as that will be upstairs, and the count's 2-0 here to Trevor Rounds. And for Dudenhofer so far, that was only pitch number 48. On pitch number 49, it's cut on and missed by Rounds, and the count's 2-1. Weston Northrup so far has thrown just 45 pitches through 4 innings, so he is comfortably in a spot that he can extend his way out farther along in this game. Now that we'll see some more activity in the bullpen. There's a line shot out in the right center field. That is down for a base hit and extra bases to kick off the bottom of the fourth. Rounds is on his way to second. He will round second, on his way to third. He's going to be there with a leadoff triple. And the Govs are in business to open things up in the bottom of the fourth. A leadoff triple for Rounds, and it brings up J.J. Buckles. Rounds' first triple of the year, second extra base hit. And he's looking to score for the 8th time this season, as J.J. Buckles will try and drive him in. First pitch is over for strike one. Fifth of the day so far for the Governors. All but that third inning, they've had at least one hit. There's a swing and a miss by Buckles, and the count's now 0-2. He struck out swinging in his first at bat. He's 0 for 1. Rounds leads away from third. He'll be looking for an opportunity to maybe score a wild pitch. 0-2 is grounded back up the middle, and waiting was Rounds. The throw to first will be tagged, applied by the first baseman in Ladner, but Rounds did not go in to score, and that will be the first out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And it brings up Porter Hunsley. So a 6-3 put out for Buckles. Porter Hunsley drew a walk in his first at-bat. First pitch is missing for ball one. Infield's kind of playing middle, that short and second base, but the thought is anything that's hit up the middle that's not right back to the pitcher, on a ground ball, you got to be able to score unless they're playing in, and they were not. As that will miss, as the count's now 2-0. So that was something that you don't want to come back to haunt you in this inning. You know, you had the error in the third that didn't come back to haunt you. You don't want this somewhat base running mistake to come back to haunt you. There's a little pop-up right side that'll be fouled just down the first base line from Hunsley, and the count's now 2-1. On deck, Parker O'Brien, the number 9 man here in the batting order for the Governors. Rounds leading away from third. And a wild pitch pass ball will score him without a play to be made. 2-1. That'll be missing upstairs. And the count's now 3-1. You almost think that if Hunsley gets on base and being first and third, they're going to try something to try and get that run from third home. There was a fly ball to right field. This should be deep enough to score the run. Backing up to the right fielder to make the catch. Rounds will tag. The throw will come in, and it will be just a little bit too late, and Rounds will score on the sacrifice fly from Porter Hunsley as he picks up his first varsity RBI. And we're all tied at 2 now here in the bottom of the fourth.
That sacrifice fly brings up the
So the sac fly RBI successful. And 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Nobody on base, and it brings up Parker O'Brien, who singled in his first at-bat. Trying to extend the inning to the top of the order. First pitch will miss for ball 1. They do have a man warming up in the left field bullpen, but he's got pullover on, so no number to try and tell you who might be out there warming up in left field. 1-0 to O'Brien's upstairs, and the count's 2-0. Bottom of the 4th, 2-2 tie, nobody on, 2 outs. Home opener for the Pierre Governors, who are 5-1 and 4-0 in South Dakota games so far. 2-0 pitch. That one just missing, and the count's now 3-0. Again, Schuffelbein is on deck, the top of the order for the Governors. He would be followed by Sutton Sunshine. They can extend it to another hitter. 3-0. Taking all the way, and over for a strike for O'Brien. The count's 3-1. Still good hitters count. Drive something in the gap somewhere. Here is the 3-1. Pop up on the right side. Second baseman and Malsum will call for it. Backpedals, and it bounced in his glove, but it stays in his glove to retire O'Brien and retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. Halfway home in game number 1. 2-2 our score between Pierre and Aberdeen. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
We're in the top of the 5th. It is 2-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. 8-9-1. Joe Cogley, Jared Klutwick, and Jahil Avilas, first 3 hitters. That one first pitch was starting to come back our way. If it had a lot more strength, a little bit more height, maybe would have got back here. It was on line. That was basically the only thing that was good about that coming this way. Counts 0-1 to Cogley, who struck out looking to end the top of the 2nd in his first at-bat. 0-1 pitch is flown out towards center field and right to Porter Hunsley. That wind carried that one. That one looked like it was Hunsley had to be on his horse moving in to maybe have to try to make a diving catch, but that wind just kept carrying it right to Hunsley. He makes the catch to retire the first man at the top of the 5th. And here is now Klutwick, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat. One of 3 strikeout victims for Weston Northrup. First pitch will bounce in for ball 1. Again, for Northrup, he is just getting to pitch number 50 in this inning, and we are into the top of the 5th. Through 45 through 4 innings. That one will miss just outside. The count's now 2-0. Your max is 105. But so far, Northrup has been able to relatively get through innings quickly, pitch count wise. The count's now 2-1. Giving up just 3 hits so far and 2 runs. And outside of an error in the top of the 3rd, in that 1st and 3rd when he didn't give up a hit, and would have been 1, 2, 3 innings. 2-1. That one will miss low, and the count's now 3-1. What also has helped so far for that pitch count for Northrup is this is really one of the first times he's gotten to 3 balls in a count. 3-1. That one to be flown to left field. Linebach will reach over, but that will land foul. And the count is now full at 3-2. So one of the first full counts that we've seen from Northrop so far in this game. See if we can't get a number out there in left field. The man warming up, that is Grant Byer, that is warming up. 3-2 pitch is foul out of play. That'll get just over the top of and completely out of Hyde Stadium, crossing Capitol. So Byer, the man warming up, out in left field. 3-2 pitch again. That one will be taken for strike three. Fourth strikeout now for Northrop. Second time he's gotten Klutwig. And there's two down here in the top of the fifth, and it brings up the top of the order in Jahil Aviles. Two ground outs so far for Aviles. First over to Shufflebein at second, and then O'Brien at third. First pitch, that one is floated down the left field line. It will slice, and it will stay fair. Linebach will come away with it, and it will be a two-out single for Aviles, who placed that one right down the left field line perfectly. And it is the fourth hit of the day now for Aberdeen, and it brings up now Michael Dutenhofer, who can help himself out and try and reclaim the lead for Aberdeen. Weston Northrop will come set from the stretch. That will miss just inside for ball one. Two down, runner on first here in the top of the fifth inning. Dutenhofer, who's 0 for 2, he ground out to the third baseman O'Brien in his first stab at and reached on an error back in the top of the third inning that extended the inning for one extra batter. And that one's at the top of the zone for a strike, and the count's 1-1. See if Aviles wants to run it all. You have the number 2 man up. It could be 2, 3, and 4, even if you do get thrown out. That'll be outside. The count's now 2-1. Might be I know it's a 2-2 game, so you're kind of feeling like you don't want to just give an out away, but more feeling like you're okay with the outcome because you either get a man in scoring position with 2 outs at second, or you have 2, 3, and 4 to start the next inning. There's a ground ball to the right side, off the glove of Buckles. The throw to Northrop, who is at the bag. He's not going to get there in time, though. Northrop was to the side of the bag. He tried to put that foot down. And first base umpire, the field umpire says that he did not get to the bag in time. So it will be an infield single for Dutenhofer. And it's first and second now here for Ridley Waldo. The second hit of the inning. A really close play, but give credit to Dutenhofer, who was moving down the line. That one's over for a strike. Counts now 0-1. Ridley Waldo's 0 for 2, flew out to left field and then ground out to the shortstop and gets. First and second with 2 away. Back pick over at first. They will apply the tag, and they got him out at first. So they pick him off. Even though Dutenhofer was safe on the initial play, they will pick off him at first base on a back pick, and he retires the side here in the top of the fifth inning. A great call there from the Governors. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a man left on base to the bottom of the fifth. 2-2 between Pierre and Aberdeen. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
It is the bottom of the fifth inning, and the Pierre Governors Aberdeen Smitties are tied 2-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. Grant Beyer will now be in to pitch. Dudenhofer will go over to first. Malsum is moving over to short, and I believe that would also put the second baseman to now be the pitcher. Excuse me, not be the pitcher, but Beyer moves from short to the mound. We'll have to get Game Changer to tell us exactly everything that there is. The first baseman, Ladner, I would say, would be moving, has to be moving somewhere. But joining us is Blake Dean as he gets here right at 6 o'clock, KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. 2-2 here in the bottom of the fifth inning, and for the Governors, it is going to be the top of the order: Carter Shufflebine, Sutton Sunshine, and Charlie Simpson. It's good to have you along, Blake.
Yeah, it's good to be back, John. It's might need to knock off a little bit of rust, as it's been, gosh, probably a couple months since I've done a game on the radio, but always good to be back. Always good to be back in the friendly confines of Hyde Stadium calling baseball with you.
I hope you brought a jacket with you, because it is...
No, I did not.
The first pitch, Shufflebine will line that into center field for a base hit, and the leadoff man is aboard to kick off the bottom of the fifth inning. And that is hit number 6 of the day for the Governors. Second one for Shufflebine. And it will bring up Sutton Sunshine. So Shufflebine, Sunshine, and then Simpson. The first 3 hitters, and with one on, you're hoping that means Dawson Getz will easily come to the plates here in this bottom of the fifth inning with Grant Beyer now on the mound. He did not pitch against Rapid City Central. So this is the 7th different pitcher that Aberdeen has used in now their 3rd game of the season. And we'll try and give you the full rundown as well for Dudenhofer, who went 4 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs. Both of them earned, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. First pitch will be grounded foul to the left side for strike 1 here to Sutton Sunshine, who is 0 for 2. Fielder's choice and a ground out to the third baseman. From the stretch, quick pickoff move, and diving back in safely is a Shufflebine.
Yeah, I think you've already talked about it probably ad nauseum at this point, John, but this is an Aberdeen team that's coming off of a couple of huge wins over Rapid City Central to start their season 2-0, both 20-run games for the Smitties.
There's a swing and a miss, and a pitch that's well upstairs, and Sunshine's now down in the count 0-2. And you're seeing this is a good Aberdeen team. Not that, you're going to take anything, because when you score 43 runs in 2 games and you get 23 hits and 10 extra base hits in those 23, you have 34 RBIs, things have got to go well for you. But being Rapid City Central and historically have not been such a good team, as the runner takes off, and then out of the hand of for Hoffman, the ball fell in the hand, so it is a ball to Sunshine, and then a stolen base for Shufflebine. So he is in the scoring position now with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning. But you really were trying to figure out how good this Aberdeen Central or Aberdeen Smitties team can be. And one, you're getting a taste of, seeing a good team between Pierre and Aberdeen play, but you're seeing this Aberdeen team is not just beating an opponent in Rapid City Central and just moving on. And while they didn't really show up or didn't really have to play hard, they still played really good, and you're seeing that right now here in Game 1.
Yeah, absolutely, especially against the team with no losses in South Dakota play and the Pierre Governors so far this year.
Here's the 2-2 to Sunshine. There's a line shot. That's going to be caught, and they flip back to second. They will double off Shufflebine, and there's 2 down now here in the bottom of the 5th. Shufflebine tried to take off for third. He didn't freeze early enough, and there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nobody on base, and it will bring up the number 3 man in Charlie Simpson.
Yeah, just really unfortunate there, as Sunshine did a good job of staying with it and putting a line drive swing on a baseball just happened to be right at the second baseman, and that caused Schuffelbein to get picked off of second base.
Here's a ground ball. Left side, that's through the hole for a base hit. Simpson's got his second hit of the game. He's 2 for 3. And there is a runner on at first with 2 away. And it brings up Dawson Getz, who's 0 for 2 with the fielder's choice.
And that's really tough because that single from Simpson would then have moved Schuffelbein over to third, and then you had runners at the corners with 1 out. So really big double play that was turned by the Smitties off the Sun and Shine line drive.
Aiden Johnson will be the courtesy runner again for Simpson. It was Ladner who moved from first to second, made that play, and then flipped it to Malsum, who's now at short after the pitching change happened here with Dutenhofer is at first base and Grant Beyer on the mound. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. And again, Northrup so far, 60 pitches through 5 innings. He is well in control to go the distance, but at least comfortably go through 6 innings. Here's the 1-0. That'll be taken for a strike, and the count's now 1-1 here to Getz, right at the knees. Johnson's a fast runner. He's got a stolen base in the second time that Simpson reached base. He reached an error, and then Johnson ran again and comfortably stole second on Dutenhofer, the lefty. Now Beyer, the right-handed pitcher, delivers the 1-1. That'll be upstairs, and the count's 2-1.
Yeah, that's a good take there by Getz, leaving that one upstairs. Hitter's count here. More than likely he's going to see, probably at least 1 fastball, if not multiple here the rest of this at-bat.
See if he can sit on that fastball. Here's a 2-1. That one's at the knees. Getz doesn't like the call, but it's called a strike, and the count's now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here in the bottom of the 5th in a 2-2 game. Aiden Johnson will lead away from first. Big spot here after the Governors had the leadoff man on and at second base. Got doubled off, and now runner on first with 2 away. Runner takes off. Getz will foul that one out of play as the catch will be made by a fan. I believe it might have been Heath Stocher that made that catch. So the count remains at 2-2. As Dawson Getz will dig back in. Here's the 2-2 from Beyer. There's a line shot into left field for a base hit. Johnson will stop at second. Quickly recovering was the left fielder in Klutwig to fire that in. And it's first and second with 2 away. Third hit of the inning for the Governors. And now it's Ridge Leinbach, who also has a hit so far. He's 1 for 2. He singled back in the first inning. Struck out swinging back in the third. The Governors can take a lead here in the bottom of the 5th after all.
That was such a good piece of hitting by Getz. He got the fastball he was looking for and laced it out to left field. Thought it might have a chance to split left and center field, but left fielder did a good job of cutting it off as Leinbach will foul this one out of play for strike 1. Did a good job of cutting it off in left field was Klutwig, and that kept the courtesy runner in Johnson at second. So first and second with 2 outs as opposed to runners on the corners for Leinbach here.
Base hit could give the Govs a lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Leinbach with the fister on the right field. That will land foul. And the count's 0-2. Right off the hands, slice foul, and the count now is well in favor of Beyer at 0-2.
Yes, the entire arsenal is open here for Beyer, and on the flip side, Leinbach in the box, so you got to be looking for anything as far as a junk pitch, off speed, breaking ball, anything close, you got to be swinging.
And that's a big spot here because one, as long as the catcher and Hoffman will get down to block anything, you feel comfortable putting anything in the dirt, putting anything above the eyes of Leinbach, and everything is in play for Beyer right now. Try and get out of this inning. Especially after that first pitch, and obviously Leinbach had checked his swing. He didn't even have a full swing, but he fouled it as it was coming high and in tight on him. 0-2 pitch, that one was more right down the middle, and Leinbach will foul that one out of play, and it remains at 0-2.
That was probably the last place that Ridge expected that one to be, was right down the middle.
I guess if you're going to miss right down the middle, I don't know if you really want to 0-2 anyway, but
Yeah.
I guess that might be one spot that the hitter's not really looking for. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Byer will get out of the inning and strand 2 runners. No runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. 5 completes here in Game 1 of our doubleheader between Aberdeen and Pierre. 2-2 is our score. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Larry Fry Heating and Cooling has a new name. Kruger Climate Systems has acquired Larry Fry Heating and Cooling, but it's still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Trane and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota.
Step up to the plate with Kathy Sunshine Properties in Pierre, your go-to for buying, selling, and finding your perfect home. Whether you're looking for a cozy cottage or a spacious family home, Kathy Sunshine Properties has you covered. We're committed to helping you make your next big move, on the field or in your life. Ready to find your dream home? Call Kathy Sunshine Properties at 605-224-5588. Your home run in real estate.
Top of the 6th, it is 2-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. John Winkler alongside Blake Dean here. Game 1 of our doubleheader. Game 2 will follow shortly, sometime after game number 1. It's usually around half an hour, but as the temperatures are and how the early season is, maybe it goes a little bit quicker to get that second game started for our doubleheader. Here's the first pitch to Ridley Waldo. A ground ball to the left side. Just missing was O'Brien, but Getz will make the play. The throw to first is on line, and the leadoff man retired. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning.
That's a nice play there by Getz. He was able to get around on the ball that, ended up kind of going off of or just out of the reach of the third baseman, and O'Brien. Getz doing a good job of coming around, making the play, and firing to first for out number 1.
So here's Grant Byer, 2 for 2, a single and a solo shot. First pitch is over for strike 1, starting with a curveball. He scored the first run, made it 1-1, then had the solo shot to make it a 2-1 lead for Aberdeen. And now he is the pitcher of record right now for Aberdeen, even though it's tied up. Here's the swing and a miss, the 0-1 pitch, and the count's now 0-2. A heavy dose of off-speed pitches after he shot the one well over left field on a pitch that was pretty much up and away to Byer. 0-2 pitch. That one trying to throw the fastball in. Buckles trying to race to it, and it will land foul. And the count remains at 0-2.
I'm guessing that this one's probably going to be a curveball as well, because a couple of curveballs that really made Byer look not real confident, and then he does get a piece of that fastball and stay alive here at 0-2. Probably a curveball more than likely.
0-2 curveball that is popped foul, right side. Buckles giving chase. He's got room and he makes the catch. And there's 2 down and a big second out to retire Byer. And it brings up Levi Hoffman now with 2 away. He's 0 for 2 so far in the game. Boy, that's a big, big second out.
Yeah. Byer's really done a lot of the damage for the Smitties and was 2 for 2 going into that at bat. And obviously, like you said, home run, 5 total bases on the game. So that's a big out to get for Northrop.
Line shot that is going to land just foul down the left field line. Almost landed in the warning track, but it went just foul from Levi Hoffman, who put a charge into that one. But all it is a long strike, and the count's 0-1.
Yeah, that was maybe foul by about a foot. But regardless of how hard he hit it or how far, it'll go down in the box score as a long strike.
A nice white painted line out in left field. Easy to see with the nice green grass here at Heights Stadium as the swing and a miss from Hoffman that counts 0-2. The infield grass and around home plate, it's got some work still to go as you would normally think anyway, as the 0-2 is outside, the count's now 1-2. But like I was talking earlier, that the outfield grass, it is a beautiful outfield grass so far to start the season that, just in general, Heights Stadium looks very good for the limited winter that we had with any kind of moisture, as that one's upstairs and the count's now 2-2.
Yeah, it really does. And I think that's a credit to the city for, how as good as Hyde looks, especially this early in the year, to your point.
2-2 pitch. That'll be upstairs, and the count's now full at 3-2. So from 0-2, able to work it back to a 3-2 count here for Levi Hoffman. On deck is Jackson Ladner. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a line shot. That's going to get into left center field, down for a base hit. So the inning will continue. As Hoffman now 1 for 3, and it brings up Ladner. Here in the top of the 6th inning, getting no activity out in the right field bullpen. Northrop is still trying to get through 6 complete. They will have a courtesy runner for Hoffman. And I don't believe he was on the roster that we got. He is number 18. But we did not have him listed from our lineup card, and we'll see if maybe they have one for on the Smitty's game changer of who that might be. As that first pitch will miss for ball 1. Do not have an 18 on the game changer either.
Possibly could be somebody wearing a different
I would think
jersey
it'd be
as
somebody.
well.
That one will hit Ladner, so it's now first and second. That's the first free pass given up by Northrop. He had no walks, no hit batters, and now we're going to see some activity down the right field bullpen for the Governors, as it's Braden Bowman, the right fielder, had an RBI ground out in the top of the 2nd that made it 1-1, and Bowman also struck out looking in the top of the 4th. So first and second with 2 away. First pitch will catch the bottom of the zone for strike 1.
And unless Northrop can get out of this inning, this will be a circle back to the Hoffman at bat, because he was down 0-2 and ends up working it back to a 3-2 count, lacing a single into left to extend the inning. And now with the hit batter putting runners on first and second, that's an at bat that we might circle back to later on in this game if Aberdeen's able to take advantage here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
The 1 pitch missed low and away. The count's 1-1. Northrop will come set from the stretch, deliver the 1-1 pitch. That'll be at the knees for a strike, and the count's now 1-2. And again, Northrop a strike away from getting out of this top of the 6th inning without any damage. 2-2 is our score here in the top of the 6th. First and second, 2 away. Aberdeen threatening it. The Govs trying to shut the door here in the 6th inning. Northrop gets the sign and will come set. The 2-2 to Bowman. That'll miss low and away, and the counts to make that the 1-2 is now 2-2. So the deuces are wild here in the top of the 6th. 2 on, 2 outs, a 2-2 pitch, and a 2-2 game. Northrop will pick off. They got the man picked off. Shufflebine will run to the 3rd. The throw to O'Brien. O'Brien now will throw it to Getz, who will try and tag him out. He'll win the race and tag him out. And the second time the Governors have picked a man off of bases, and it retires the side here in the 6th inning. A huge, huge pickoff for Northrop and the Governors. We remain tied at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
AGE Corporation has been building South Dakota for nearly 60 years. For all your site work, construction, and crane needs, AGE is there for you. If you need a boat dock and dock lighting, AGE has what you need. Visit their website, agecorp.com, or give them a call at 223-2732. AGE Corporation, providing high-quality services without sacrificing safety. Visit agecorp.com or call 223-2732.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, Connected, committed. Member FDIC.
It is the bottom of the sixth, 2-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean. It is 6, 7, and 8. Trevor Rounds, J.J. Buckles, Porter Hunsley. Anybody reaches base? Parker O'Brien. And Govs would love to see Parker O'Brien come to the plate because they want to score a run. They got to get somebody on base to get a run scored. As the Govs will be looking for their second lead. They led 1-0 after the bottom of the first. It was tied at 1 until the top of the fourth on that home run from Grant Beyer, who is now pitching for Aberdeen. And then the RBI sac fly from Porter Hunsley. This is the inning that started things out. Trevor Rounds had a triple to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning. And so Rounds will be looking for the same type of result. First pitch from Beyer. Rounds will foul that one back. The count is 0-1.
And going back to the top of that last inning, you know, we talked about circling back to the Hoffman at bat on a single. And now you may have to circle back, especially if Bowman's able to single as Rounds skies this one out to right center field that will continue to carry, but the center fielder Aviles will make the catch for out number 1. But that's something that we might circle back to. If Bowman singles top of the 7th, that would potentially have been the go-ahead run for the Smitties if Hoffman wasn't picked off second base.
Here's J.J. Buckles, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout in a ground out of the shortstop. I didn't let you try and read my handwriting.
That's fair.
Yeah, make sure that I told you Aviles right away. First pitch will be just missing for ball 1.
You saved me from the...
I saved myself, too. I could have just not said anything.
We've been through this many a time.
All the times that you try and read my handwriting does not end well if I don't just tell you. Here's a line shot that's fouled by Buckles, and the count's 1-1.
Also, my eyesight's not what it used to be either, so that makes it even more challenging.
I bet your eyesight's still better than mine.
That's a pretty low bar.
that is just about as low as you can get. It counts 1-1 here to Buckles. Grant Beyer working in his second inning of relief. That one will be fouled out of play on the left side. Just will stay in Hyde Stadium. The count's now 1-2.
Beyer's really come in and done a good job of quieting the Governor bats. 8 hits through 5 1/3 so far, but since he's come in for Dutenhofer, he's thrown really well.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Buckles will reach for it out towards right field, but coming in will be the right fielder and Bowman to make the catch. Didn't look super comfortable making the catch, but he does make the grab, and there's now 2 down quickly here in the bottom of the 6th, and it'll bring up the number 8 man in Porter Hunsley, who had the sac fly RBI in the bottom of the 4th. He is 0 for 0 so far. Drew a walk in the 2nd, and then the sac fly RBI in the 4th.
And that last flyout, Buckles didn't even really look like he hit it all that hard, and that thing just continued to carry out to right center field.
First pitch, that was a line shot. That's in the center field for a base hit. The way that sounded off the bat may not feel good in the hands of Porter Hunsley, but he does have his first varsity hit, and it extends the inning for Parker O'Brien.
Congratulations to Porter Hunsley. That's a huge milestone, getting that first hit out of the way, and many more to come for that young man, I would imagine.
Just a freshman for Hunsley. We saw him really earn that spot and take hold of that spot as a corner for the Governor football team. There's a ground ball up the middle. That's going to get underneath the glove of the second baseman, Ladner, into center field. Hunsley was off of the pitch, so he will easily stand up at third base. And it's first and third now with 2 away. And it will bring up the top of the order in Carter Schuffelbein. Another error for Aberdeen. Third one of the day for the Smitties.
Boy, that's going to be potentially huge, as that was essentially O'Brien hit right into the shift there, because both second and short were going to cover as Hunsley was taken off with the pitch, and essentially O'Brien hit it right to the second baseman who was going to the bag to cover. Otherwise, it probably would have been a single and Hunsley would have been on third. But just right through the wickets of the second baseman, and Hunsley's able to take third anyway. And now it's first and third with 2 outs regardless, but it goes down as an error instead of a hit.
We'll see if O'Brien takes off at any point. It does not on that first pitch, and it's upstairs for ball 1. These are, I wouldn't say they're young guys because they're sophomore and freshman on the base pass right now, but they will have plenty of varsity experience by the time that they're seniors and already starting to get that varsity experience. We'll see if maybe they try and get into a rundown, but Schuffelbein will pop this one up. Second baseman will call for it, and Ladner will make the catch, and the Governors strand the go-ahead run on at third base as the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 men left on base. We head to the 7th, 2-2 between Pierre and Aberdeen. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Are you a farmer in the Highmore area? Do you need a trusted partner for your grain and agronomy needs? Look no further than AgTegra. AgTegra is built on a legacy of farmer-owned cooperatives, providing superior service and relentless innovation for generations. We're committed to your success and the safety of our employees and members. For your grain needs, call Chance Scott at 605-846-1099. And for all your agronomy needs, reach out to Cole Hamlin at 605-871-9572. AgTegra. Growing together for generations.
Hello, I'm Pastor Jeff Lathrop of Pierre First United Methodist Church, and I'd like to invite you to join us in person for worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. You can also join us on Facebook Live or on KCCR 1240 a.m. or 98.9 FM for our Sunday morning broadcast at 11 a.m. Come worship with us at First United Methodist Church, where you will find open hearts, open minds, and open doors.
It is the top of the 7th, and it is a 2-2 tie on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. Weston Northrup is still on the mound for the Governors. He will deal with 7, 8, and 9, Braden Bowman, Joe Cogley, and Jared Klutwick. And we'll see if the Governors can get a big 0 here in the top of the 7th. And Northrup can go through all 7 innings and give themselves a shot with 2, 3, and 4 to try and win the ball game in the bottom of the 7th. Here is pitch number 1 to Braden Bowman. Swings and misses for strike 1. He did not look comfortable on that off-speed pitch from Northrup. It was, I mean, he's been excellent so far in this game for Weston Northrup. There is some activity out in the right field bullpen. This will be flown out of play on the right side. The count's now 0-2. Regardless of how this game ends for the Governors and how the outing ends for Northrup, he's been excellent. He's given the Governors a chance to win this game through 6 innings and 6 innings plus now, as this will be fouled out of play and remains at 0-2.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better outing out of a starting pitcher than what the Govs have gotten out of Weston Northrup here this evening. There's also some activity out in the left field bullpen. Looks like Jackson Ladner is getting loose for the Smitties.
This will be grounded over the shortstop. Dawson gets it, a one-hopper. His throw to first will be in time and retire the leadoff man here in the top of the 7th. And it will bring up now Joe Cogley, the DH.
Now the designated hitter, number 17, Joe
And Cogley remains, even though Dudenhofer went over to first base after he was done pitching. Cogley is hitting for Malsum. And in high school baseball, you can hit for anybody you want to in the DH, where in Legion baseball, it has to be the pitcher that you're hitting for. Here's the first pitch. That was over for strike 1.
I always thought that made more sense as far as the actual term designated hitter, meaning you're designating who they can hit for, rather than it being specifically for the pitcher.
Now, I mean, because I think, well, and obviously, Joe Madden at one point for the Rays had messed up the lineup and ended up having one of his pitchers, I think it was Sonnenschein, that was pitching for Tampa. He had to be the number 3 hitter because he messed it up and they had no DH, and your pitcher had to hit third. And the count's now 1-2 here to Joe Cogley. That was when he was still with the Rays, but so then you had to play it as a National League lineup and try to double switch somewhere at some point to get your pitcher out of the 3. I guess you didn't necessarily have to double switch because you could have kept him in the 3 hole, depending on how your lineup was at. But
nobody wants that.
No, nobody really. Yeah, that was a oddity that I've just never really seen happen, and now it really shouldn't happen as it counts 2-2, because the DH is universal.
Unless whoever manages Shohei Ohtani has trouble with the lineup card.
And that's the thing, is like you can technically put a guy as the pitcher and designated hitter, so when he comes out, he can still be the DH. This will be popped up foul, will stay in play. Long run for O'Brien at the dugout, and he just can't make the catch. It bounced inside, I believe it bounced inside the dugout, and O'Brien was right there. He did exactly what he needed to do, got right to the railing at the dugout, then looked back up, but just ran out of time to make that play. He did everything right except for making that catch, and you can't really say he ended up making it wrong. That was nearly a great play from O'Brien. Here's a 2-2. This will be flown out towards left field. Coming in his line box, still coming in, and it will drop in front of him for a base hit. That time the wind didn't push it all the way out there to line back, and a 1-out single for Cogley, and that might be the end of the line for Weston Northrop, as the manager and Scott Rowley will make his way out and at least have a conversation with Northrop.
Yeah, maybe he'll give him
87 pitches so far for Northrop.
Maybe he'll give him one more batter, since this is going to be the 9-man in the order here, but probably more than likely, if it's just one more, to be the last hitter for Northrop.
And that will be the end of the line for Weston Northrop, as they will go to the bullpen. So we will step aside and we will tell you the changes coming up after this 1-minute break. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When you're in town for the big game, why not stay where the view is just as great as the action? American in Fort Pierce sits right on the river, offering beautiful scenery, relaxing comfort, and easy access to the ballpark. After a day at the Diamond, there's nothing better than unwinding by the water, and the American always hits it out of the park. Stay by the river. Stay in comfort. Call 605-223-2358 to book your room today. American, where the river meets relaxation. Step up to the plate with Overhead Door Company Pierre. Like your favorite team, we deliver reliability, strength, and top-notch performance. For over 100 years, Overhead Door has been the most respected name in the industry. From commercial or residential repairs to full upgrades, our team of technicians stand ready to provide winning results. Don't let a faulty garage door strike you out. Look for the signature red ribbon and call the industry MVP at 605-224-6200. Bring your garage door game to the big leagues.
Well, Weston Northrop will not be able to get the win, but he does set his team up with 6 1/3 innings of baseball and a great outing for Northrop in his first start of the season. But he is a runner on at first and 1 out, so you can't officially close the book for Northrop. But he did give up 7 hits in 6 1/3 innings, no walks, and 4 strikeouts for Northrop. And a fantastic outing. But it will be Will Danberg now on the pitch, as he will deal with the runner on at first. Klutwick is 9-1 here for Aberdeen. And before we get to the stats of Will Danberg, Weston Northrop, that is a heck of a performance for the right-hander.
Yeah, it really is. You can't ask for anything more out of a starting pitcher than the Govs got from Weston Northrop this evening. And like you said, really set your team up for success. And unfortunately is not going to be the pitcher of record in this ball game, but you can't talk about this ball game in particular without talking about the job that Weston Northrop did on the bump for the Govs.
This will be the first relief appearance for Will Danberg this year. This is his 3rd appearance overall. He's with 2 starts. He's thrown 9 innings in those 2 starts. We'll give you the full stats here in just a moment. There's a foul ball on the first pitch by Klutwick, and the count is 0-1. So 9 innings pitched so far for Danberg. He is 2-0 in those 2 starts. Gave up 10 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of them earned. 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, an ERA at 1.56, a whip at 1.44, batting average against at 270 for Danberg. So he's been excellent in the first 2 outings. This pitch will hit the dirt. It'll get to the left of Simpson, and to second base will go the go-ahead runner on a wild pitch. So it's runner on at second here with 1 out, eliminates the double play opportunity on the ground. And a runner in scoring position now for the bottom of the order and the top of the order that's due up next. Klutwick, who is 0 for 2 at 2 strikeouts. Really going to go after him. He was 1 for 2 against Rapid City Central, 0 for 2 so far. That's another ground ball that'll be fouled. Nice play by the third base coach, making that snag. It's not easy on a cold night. And it's been, it's 50 degrees, feels like 34 right now. It's not easy to make that play barehanded, but coach has still got it over there for Aberdeen. Counts 1-2. Let's see if Danberg can give Klutwig a third strikeout. 1-2 pitch. That one's chopped foul at the plate. So we'll do it again at 1-2.
That was a good breaking ball by Danberg. Hard breaking ball, a lot of spin on that. Klutwig just able to get the knob of the bat on it to stay alive here at 1-2.
Leading away from second is Cogley, the DH, after he singled with 1 out. That pitch will miss just low, and the count's 2-2. Base open at first. However, with it being the number 9 man and he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, you like to go after him and get that second out. More so than saying, well, if you'd rather maybe try and pitch around to Vilas with a base open. 2-2 is fouled away, remaining at 2-2. Because if you get Klutwig out here, then you can go be a little bit more cute and try and work around Avilas. If you do walk him, yeah, it'll be the number 2 hitter, but at least then you set up the force out at any of the 3 bases, being that it is the top of the order. Here's the 2-2 again from Danberg. That one will miss just low, and the count's now 3-2. Governors in the bottom of the 7th will have 2, 3, and 4. Will they be looking for 1 to win, or will it be at least 1 to try and tie? As they try and remain perfect here in South Dakota games. 3-2 pitch. Just missing outside for ball 4, and it will be a walk issued to Klutwig. And his first and second here with 1 out. Double play is back in order, but it is at first and second for the top of the order for Aberdeen.
Yeah, and that was a couple of really good takes there by Klutwig on ball 3 and ball 4. Ball 3 was the curveball in the dirt that he really kind of spat on, and did the same thing on ball 4, a fastball that just missed the outer half of the plate for ball 4, and he takes his base, rightfully so, on the base on balls.
Here's a foul, a ground ball that will be fielded by Buckles to throw to first. Danberg is on the bag in time, just barely on the bag in time. Buckles could even tag Navilas, but he threw the ball to first. Danberg was covering, and there's now 2 down in second and third. One in the earlier part of the game, the umpire had said that Northrop was not on the bag. They checked with the home plate umpire. He said the same thing, that he got him on the bag. That time, that they do say that this time it was Danberg on the bag. So it is a 3-1 ground out. And it's Dudenhofer with second and third and 2 away here in the top of the 7th. Thought maybe the umpire was saying foul ball right away, that it went off of Avilas. Here's a fly ball to right field. It's just getting out of play into foul territory, and it will land just foul. Sunshine ran out of time to get there. And a long strike to Dudenhofer, who is 1 for 3. Ground out to the third baseman, O'Brien. Reaching on an error by Buckles, and then a base hit in the 5th inning.
Yeah, Danberg, like you said, Buckles fielded that and flipped it to Danberg, and Danberg really kind of, it wasn't, super obvious that he stepped in the bag, but I think he did get it, maybe even with both feet, that he hit the bag there.
0-1 pitch. This is popped up. Foul territory. Buckles, he's got room. He will call for it, and he makes the catch. It wasn't the cleanest catch for Buckles. He shakes his head, but he does make the catch, and it retires the side here at the top of the 7th inning. So the Governors get out of it with 2 runners in scoring position. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. To the bottom of the 7th, can the Governors get a walk-off here in Game 1 of the home opener? Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Is your roof ready for the next South Dakota storm? Don't wait till it's too late. For over 25 years, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction has been serving Central South Dakota with quality roofing and construction. He has now added gutters. We offer dependable service, guaranteed workmanship, and no unnecessary flash or fuss. Just reliable protection for your home. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction. Experience you can trust. Call today, 605-280-8133. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, serving Central South Dakota for over 25 years. Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
So it is the bottom of the 7th in a 2-2 tie on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. 2, 3, and 4 for the Governors. Sudden Sun and Shine, Charlie Simpson and Dawson Getz. 1 run wins it. Govs with 9 hits so far. They had 3 hits in the first inning where they scored just 1 run. Did not score in the 5th inning when they had 3 hits, but that was part of a double play that was turned as well. They have a hit in the 2nd, 4th, and 6th innings. Only the 3rd was when they were left hitless after a leadoff error for Charlie Simpson. Only base runner they had in that inning. So Weston Northrup, you can close the book officially on him. 6 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and 87 pitches. Effective, efficient, and fantastic for the Governors. Here's the first pitch from Byer to Sunshine. Hard ground ball, third base side. That is through for a base hit and a leadoff man to kick off the bottom of the 7th. The winning run is on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll give Sunshine a base hit. Third baseman and Waldo probably had a good play on it, but maybe the hometown scoring gives Sunshine a base hit.
Yeah, it's a hard ground ball that did get through the third baseman's glove, but that would have been a really hard play to make. Quick reaction time. Give him a hit.
A bunt that would be back to the mound. It'll be fielded by Byer, but it will advance. Charlie Simpson, the sacrifice bunt, will advance Sun and Shine over to second. Score that 1-3 on the sacrifice. And it's now Dawson Getz and Ridge Leinbach, your 2 seniors. 2 of your seniors on the team that have an opportunity to win this ball game here at the bottom of the 7th. A little bit of small ball. You don't see that very often from your number 3 hitter, especially Major League Baseball. You will never see that from your number 3 hitter. Getz will fly this one out to center field. Coming in on it is the center fielder, Navilas, and it's not going to be deep enough to allow the runner in Sun and Shine to tag. And there's now 2 down, and it brings up Ridge Leinbach.
Yeah, just got under it, did Getz, and the wind is really whipping to left field, right at the left field foul pole almost. So that thing hung up in the air as it was out to right center, and Aviles was able to glide underneath it to make the catch for out number 2.
So here's Leinbach, a chance to win it with 2 outs. Off with contact will be Sunshine. Here's a line shot into right field, right to the right fielder to make the catch in Bowman. And that will send us to extra innings here in game number 1. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. To extras we go here in the home opener between Pierre and Aberdeen. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When you bank with First Fidelity, we reinvest your deposit right back into our community. We make loans to local families, farms, and small businesses. Community reinvestment is one of our basic purposes. It's vital to the local economy. It also helps grow our community. Stop by one of our branches today. First Fidelity Bank. First-class banking on a first-name basis. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Online at ffb-sd.com.
Want technology solutions you can trust from a neighbor you know? Comtech, locally owned and serving Pierre and surrounding area since 2009, is dedicated to keeping your home, farm, and business connected and secure. We offer a full range of services, from audio and video, security, surveillance, and networking with expert installation and support. Visit our storefront, Call us at 605-224-4066 or visit our website, comtechplus.com, to experience the Comtech difference. Comtech, your local technology experts.
It is the top of the 8th, extra innings here in Game 1 of the home opener between Pierre and Aberdeen. Will Danberg will face 3, 4, and 5. Ridley Waldo, Grant Beyer, and then also Levi Hoffman. He might reach his base, Jackson Ladner. Beyer's that one guy that's going to be really tough in this top of the 8th inning. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean. I guess, Blake, could you ask for anything better than this for a home opener?
Absolutely not. This has been a fantastic baseball game. You know, early season, we've seen some blunders from both teams, some opportunities, you know, that neither team has cashed in on, but it's made for an exciting baseball game, and now we get extra innings of it.
Here's the first pitch to Ridley Waldo to open up the top of the 8th. That one's over for a strike. Will Danberg, Grant Beyer, these two guys pitching after two great starts from both Michael Dutenhofer from Aberdeen and Weston Northrup for the Governors. Here's a ground ball, third baseman, nice backhand by O'Brien. He played that hop. It didn't let the hop play him, and he'll retire the first man here in the top of the 8th inning. And O'Brien has looked really sharp over at third base here in the first part of this season.
Yeah, that's a nice fielding job there by O'Brien over at third. Couple of hops. He was able to backhand the short one and fire over to first base to Buckles for out number 1.
So here's Grant Beyer, 2 for 3, single and a solo homer. He has scored both runs for Aberdeen. Was scored on an RBI ground out from Braden Bowman. They hit the home run. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one is off the end of the bat. It is in fair territory. Danberg will pick it up. He will throw to first, and that's a big second out with nobody on here in the top of the 8th inning. And it will bring up now Levi Hoffman.
Yeah, that's a huge out to get Beyer on really weak contact back to Danberg for out number 2. And, you know, essentially Danberg's maybe even a pitch away from getting back in the dugout and getting the bats going again.
First pitch will miss for ball 1 for Levi Hoffman, who is 1 for 3. He was picked off at second to end the top of the 6th inning. This will be a chopper off the plate. Another short hop for O'Brien to field. Another great play from Parker O'Brien. And he's got 2 of those 3 outs. Retires the side 1, 2, 3 in the 8th inning. To the bottom half we go. Another chance for the Governors to win this on a walk-off. 2-2 is their score. Head to the bottom of the 8th. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at envirotechwaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
It is the bottom of the 8th inning in a 2-2 tie between Pierre and Aberdeen. See if the Governors can walk this one off. Trevor Rounds, J.J. Buckles, Porter Hunsley. It is 6, 7, and 8. When the Governors scored their second run, this was the group that got it started. Rounds led off with a triple in the 4th inning. Then he came home on the sac fly RBI from Hunsley. So now we'll see if maybe they can do that again. They did lead off the 6th inning and end up getting the first 2 retired, and then stranding runners at the corners in that bottom of the 6th. We'll see if that first outcome happens again here in the bottom of the 8th. A little bit of rain missed falling here at Hyde Stadium. It's gotten more people underneath the cover. Some people still not really, they're already bundled up to the point they probably don't feel unless it's hitting them in the face. But trying to maybe duck a little bit of rain. As it is, Trevor Rounds to lead things off. He's 1 for 3. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike one.
Yeah, big cut there from Rounds on a fastball that was chest high. I think he was looking for another extra base hit to put this one to bed early.
Here is the 0-1 from Byer. That one will hit Rounds, and so he is on. The winning run is on again to lead off the inning. Just like in the 7th inning, it was a leadoff single for Sunshine. Now it's Trevor Rounds on at first, and we'll see if J.J. Buckles will put down a bunt. It was effective in the bottom of the 7th for Simpson laying down the bunt, but the Governors couldn't cash in with that runner in score position. I mean, you got to take the odds here of Buckles got a bunt, right? Get him in score position.
Well, and the one thing that Coach Rowie did that I thought was maybe pretty obvious was he said, hey, JJ, come over here. It kind of maybe tips the hand of Aberdeen that he's going to bunt.
And he does bunt it back towards the mound. No play to second, so it will be another good sacrifice bunt for the Governors. This time JJ Buckles does his job. 1-3 on the sacrifice again. And it's another man in scoring position for Rounds and now Porter Hunsley, who is 1 for 1 in the ballgame. Been on outside of the sacrifice fly, he's been on base with the walk and the single, and he got the RBI in his other plate appearance. So 1 for 1 so far, and see if he can get on base for a third time, and maybe getting on base for the third time will be just enough to win the ballgame for the Govs. Byer will come set from the stretch. He'll deliver the first pitch. That one's at the knees for a strike.
This big spot here for the freshman Hunsley, you know, definitely the biggest at-bat of his varsity career to this point.
Here's the 0-1 from Byer to Hunsley. A long look, a couple times over at second. Hunsley will pop this one up on the infield. The first baseman and Dudenhofer will call for it and make the catch. And there's now 2 down, and it's up to Parker O'Brien to try and drive in the game-winning run. Number 9 man in the batting order. O'Brien is 1 for 3. He singled in the first, popped out into second in the 4th, and then reached on an error in the 6th, which got the Govs at first and third at that point. So another hard-hit ball, try and get it through the infield and try and score the game-winning run.
If he can do the same thing as he did last time, that probably ends the game right here.
Here's the first pitch, upstairs for ball 1. This is a big spot. O'Brien looking to win the ball game. He's got the top of the order in Shufflebine and Sunshine. They both could reach base and leave Sunshine to the plate. There's a swing and a miss. It's now 1-1. Can't go farther than Sunshine in the bottom of the 8th inning. If we get to the 9th inning, Jackson Ladner, Bowman, and Cogley be 6, 7, and 8. We really don't want to see a 9th inning. 1-1 pitch. This will be popped up on the right side. Foul territory. First baseman Dudenhofer will make the catch, and it will send us to the 9th inning. So again, after the Governors get the leadoff man on base, the sacrifice bunt, and nothing else showing for it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We'll play 9 in game number 1. It is 2-2 between Pierre and Aberdeen. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When life throws you a curveball, May Adam Law Firm in Pierre is here to help you knock it out of the park. For over 130 years, we've been providing trusted legal expertise in business, family law, criminal defense, and more. Proud sponsors of this season's baseball action, we're committed to serving our community both on and off the field. Need legal advice? Step up to the plate with May Adam Law Firm. Visit mayadam.net or call today. May Adam, South Dakota's law firm since 1881.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up all online. New or used, shop for it all online anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
So it is the top of the 9th inning, and the Pierre Governors, they are tied with Aberdeen 2-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. We've had a couple of final scores across the states that both started at 5 o'clock. It was a 4-1 win for Mitchell over T and a 5-3 win for Yankton over Huron. Yankton and Huron were scheduled to at least play a doubleheader. We'll see if they actually start that second game or not. But Mitchell and T were scheduled for just one game. Washington Jefferson, they started at 6. We're supposed to start at 6 o'clock. And they did start that game, and then at 8 o'clock between Roosevelt and Lincoln. Here's first pitch. Over for strike one to get us going in the top of the 9th inning. 6, 7, 8, Jackson Ladner, Braden Bowman, and Joe Cogley. As maybe the sprinkles have stopped here at Hyde Stadium. A little bit of mist. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's now 0-2. Ladner is 1 for 2 so far. He doubled in the second, flew out into left in the fourth. It was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. Here's the 0-2 from Danberg. That one's popped foul, and it's going to get out of play. Simpson will turn and shed his mask, but we'll just watch it hit the canopy here at Hyde Stadium. We yearned for yesterday to come back. 80 degrees yesterday. That would have been that's the only thing missing from this first game is an 80 degree day here at Hyde Stadium. Here's the 0-2. That one will miss, slowing away, and the count's 1-2.
And I thought I had heard, maybe some rumors earlier in the week, but I could be wrong that the Black Hills area with this cell that had come through here this evening was maybe a chance for potential snow.
That one will be taken for a strike 3, and Ladner will go down looking, and there's one down here in the top of the 9th. And it will bring up Braden Bowman, who is 0 for 3 so far with an RBI ground out. Track was supposed to be out in Rapid City today, and that got postponed till next week, Tuesday. And they had a golf invite out in Rapid City that was also postponed. There's a swing and a miss by Bowman. That didn't affect the Governors, who went out to Harrisburg. Hadley Hart got 3rd place in the opening meet of the season. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's over for a strike. The count's now 0-2.
Danberg is really mixing his pitch as well right now, John. That strikeout pitch was an off-speed breaking ball to get Hoffman, and now Ladner is behind 0-2 on a couple of fastballs that have painted the zone.
0-2 pitch is upstairs, and the count's now 1-2.
Then I say that, and he throws one just almost over top of his head in Ladner.
Well, as I say, he's trying to get the eyeballs, but it's a little bit too high to try and get him to chase. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for Bowman, and that's a strikeout again. Back-to-back strikeouts now, and there's 2 down. And it will bring up Joe Cogley, the DH, who was 1 for 3. And Danberg is, you don't want to say he's settling in because it's the top of the 9th inning. You don't no longer want to settle into a game that's in extras, but he is really, as Blake said, mixing his pitches well and is really comfortable on the mound right now. That one just missing outside for ball 1 to Cogley.
Which is especially impressive considering the conditions that he's pitching in right now.
Yeah, these are not ideal conditions for a guy that's got one sleeve and basically wearing short sleeves other than the compression sleeve on his right arm as it counts 2-0. On top of a little bit of some moisture that could be falling here at Hyde Stadium. 2-0 pitch. That one's over for a strike. The count's now 2-1.
I'm surprised that they're allowing him to wear that. I thought that there was maybe a rule that the pitchers couldn't wear the compression sleeve underneath when they throw.
I think it's as long as it's the same color as the jersey.
Okay.
2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's now 2-2. They wouldn't let him wear. They would let him wear a white sleeve if they were wearing white jerseys, but they wouldn't let him wear that. Obviously, with the Governors wearing their black jerseys with the green pinstripes.
Okay.
Here's the 2-2. Looking to strike out the side is Danberg. He will. That one's taken for a strike 3. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Danberg. Let's go win a ball game at the bottom of the ninth. 2-2 between Pierre and Aberdeen. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC. It is the bottom of the ninth inning, and it is a 2-2 tie on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. And it will be the top of the order. Jackson Ladner is now on the mound to pitch for Aberdeen, who didn't, again, another pitcher that was not used on Sunday against Rapid City Central. But Ladner will get a chance to try and work Aberdeen to the 10th inning. If you can believe that, we've got a chance to go past the Major League Baseball inning. I mean, we're playing a full Major League game right now, be in the ninth inning, or I guess a historic American Legion baseball game when they used to play 9 innings.
Oh, back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back in the day when we used to play.
You remember that time.
Absolutely.
For Grant Beyer, he went 4 innings, giving up 6 hits, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. We've had just 2 walks issued this entire game, one from Dutenhofer and one so far from Danberg. And then we've had 2 guys be hit by a pitch, one from each team. So not a whole lot of free passes. Schuffelbein will try and bunt his way on, but he popped it up and a diving catch by the catcher and Levi Hoffman. An incredible diving play by Hoffman to steal a hit away from Schuffelbein, because there's no chance that they were going to throw out Schuffelbein at first, other than Hoffman diving to make that catch, and there's one down here at the bottom of the ninth.
What a play by Levi Hoffman behind the plate. He absolutely laid it all out for that ball to make that catch, and that saves Aberdeen a runner on base, which would have been huge, especially with the new pitcher on the mound in Ladner, to give him some confidence rather than having him pitch out of the stretch right away.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That was over for a strike. The count's now 1-1. And that's the thing is, Ladner is pitching out of the stretch to begin with, but to what you said too, that it's a lot different when you're pitching out of the stretch with a runner on base than just pitching with nobody on and working out of the stretch. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball left side. That'll be off the glove of Malsum. No chance to make the play, even if he fielded that cleanly. He was deep in the hole, and that'll be a single for Sutton Sonnenschein, his second hit of the ball game. And it's a runner on at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. And it'll bring up Charlie Simpson, who has got 2 hits so far in the game.
Yeah, this huge opportunity, and if not for the heroic effort of Hoffman behind the plate, Pierre would have runners first and second, nobody out, rather than just a runner on first and 1 out here for Simpson.
Runner takes off. There's a swing and a miss, and I think it's going to be a man that's going to be out at second because Simpson swung and his momentum took it over, or is now going to be Simpson out.
Yeah.
And so Simpson, I believe, is Simpson is
Simpson's
out.
Catcher's interference.
Yep, and it will be a runner on at first again now with 2 outs. And so it brings up Dawson Getz. And there is 2 away, and it will bring up Dawson Getz. And Coach Rowley is not happy with that call, but believe that was the right call by the home plate umpire.
I think it was too. That was a little bit exaggerated on the backswing by Simpson.
And then, just in general with him moving just a little bit to the right, if he had swung and not moved at all, his feet didn't move at all, it would have been a different story. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Runner takes off for second. The throw to second. It's going to be off the glove of the shortstop, of the second baseman. And so now there's a runner on at second. A stolen base for Sunshine, and the count's 2-0 to Dawson Getz to try and win this game. He's got one hit so far. He's 1 for 4.
In general, too, speaking about the game, this game has really been umpired really well. I've been impressed with the zone, and, field haven't had anything to say there either. So
here's the 2-0 pitch. That'll be off the glove of the catcher. To third base will easily go for Sunshine. And it's now a 3-0 count and a runner on at third, 90 feet away from winning this ball game. And a 3-0 count, which would make you think that Dawson Getz probably going to have to take a pitch here. I know it's probably going right down the middle, but he's got to take a pitch.
Yeah, definitely taking his Getz right here.
So the 3-0, Getz will take all the way. That's over for strike one. Still good hitters count here for Getz to try and win this game. Wild pitch or a pass ball will also help win the game without Getz even having to swing. 3-1 pitch. That one is popped foul. That will off the netting. There's no chance to make the play for the catcher and Hoffman that time. And the count's now full at 3-2.
But yeah, multiple ways to win here, whether it's a base hit, passed ball. There's more than one way. Getz does not have to just get a hit to end this ball game.
3-2 pitch upcoming. Ladner will come set from the stretch. Getz with a fly ball to left field. Kluchwick will come in. He's underneath it. He'll make the catch, and it will send us to the 10th inning. 2-2 still our score. Let's play 10 here in game number 1 between Pierre and Aberdeen. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our number one priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre.
Swing for the fences with a great deal from Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. Whether you need a powerful truck, a fuel-efficient sedan, or a spacious SUV, they've got the perfect lineup to keep you on the road and in the game. Don't strike out. Stop by today or visit CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, where the best deals in town are always in play.
So it is the top of the 10th inning, and the Pierre Governors and Aberdeen Smitties are closing in on trying to play 3 games for 2. Top of the 10th. The good news is my scorebook goes all the way to 15, Blake.
That is good news. Hopefully we won't need 15, but the way this thing's going, maybe we will. Who knows?
You're listening to KCCR Pierre, Riverfront Broadcasting Station. Yeah, there's a lot of people that maybe groaned at me saying that there's 15. We got a new catcher behind the plate, as it will be leading things off will be Jared Klutwig. Klutwig is 0 for 2 so far, 2 strikeouts and a walk. So first pitch will be fouled out of play, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, it looks like Danberg's going to maybe try to get settled in here again as he hops up 0-1 on first batter of this inning.
That pitch will be upstairs, and the count's now 1-1 here to Klutwig. It is raining a little bit more now here at Hyde Stadium. Actually, you can't see the rain falling here at Hyde. Here's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-2. We play the top of the 10th in game 1 of our doubleheader. We believe it's we believe it's a doubleheader. It's getting a little bit chillier. We were expecting to play 10 innings in game number 1. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That'll be missing high and outside. The count's now 2-2. I mean, we're kind of hoping that 7:05, 7:09 would be the start of game number 2, but instead we're still playing a 2-2 game here at the top of the 10th. 2-2. That will hit Klutwick, and it will be a leadoff man on base to kick off the 10th inning, and it will go back to the top of the order now for Jahil Aviles, who was 1 for 4.
Yeah, there's been 10 consecutive half innings, 5 complete, of no runs on the board for either side. Last run scored was Pierce in the bottom of the 4th, and we're now in the top of the 10th with Aberdeen having their leadoff man in Klutwick on first.
First pitch, Aviles was showing bunt. It's taken high for ball 1. So now here with nobody out and a runner on at first, Aviles was looking for the sacrifice bunt. O'Brien now playing inside and on the grass, well inside the grass. Aviles showing bunt, pulls it back, swings and misses for strike 1. I mean, O'Brien, he was probably, 50 feet from the plate? 50 feet down the line, or 40 feet down the line.
Yeah, he was charging hard.
He was expecting Aviles to bunt the ball. See if Aviles is going to bunt this time. 1-1 pitch. Not bunting, taking it outside for a ball. That counts 2-1.
Yeah, hitters count now for Aviles, and that's the position that he wants to be in with a 2-1 count and a runner on first, nobody out.
2-1 pitch. That one misses low and away, and the count's now 3-1. On deck is Michael Dutenhofer, and then Ridley Waldo will follow that.
Ball might be just a little bit tougher to grasp for Danberg out there. Is the command that he showed in the 9th is not quite as sharp as it is here in this top of the 10th as he puts one over the inside corner to make it 3-2 on Aviles here.
Big pitch upcoming. Leadoff man in the batting order with a runner on at first and nobody out here at the top of the 10th. 3-2. Swing and a miss. They get a strikeout to open things for 1 out here in the top of the 10th inning. They open up, I guess, this time through the batting order. It's a big strikeout for Danberg. Picked up his 4th strikeout of the ball game. So now here's Dutenhofer, who is 1 for 4 in the ball game, single in the 5th. Was picked off in the 5th inning to end the top of the 5th. Would expect that with now 1 out, probably not bunting anymore. Here's the first pitch, and it'll miss low and away for ball 1.
Yeah, you don't want to sacrifice. You're okay giving up the sacrifice on the first out of the inning. You're putting yourself a little bit behind the 8 ball if you're doing it on the 2nd out, because yes, you got a runner in scoring position, but you've only got 1 chance to make a mistake rather than 2.
Here's a fly ball towards right center field. Moving over is Hunsley. Dives, but he can't make the catch. The ball drops out towards third base. Now will fly over to third base. Will be Klutwick. It's a 1-out double for Dutenhofer. And it brings up the number 3 man in Ridley Waldo to try and give Aberdeen the lead here in the 10th inning.
That's a great piece of hitting there by Dutenhofer, sending it out to right center field. Hunsley just out of the reach of him. It looked like both he and Sonnenschein were on a dead sprint to try to make that play, and Hunsley almost did. Dove right at the last second, but just out of his grasp. And now Aberdeen's got runners 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, and the heart of their lineup coming up here, starting with their number 3 batter,
Ridley Waldo. So Waldo to the plate. Everybody will be in. Any ground ball you have to be throwing at home or at least forcing that runner back to third. So the infield is in all the way around. This is a strikeout opportunity for Will Danberg, who's got 4 so far in the game. They will go after Waldo even with the base open at first.
Infield in here.
First pitch is over for strike 1. And I think the big reason why you don't intentionally walk Waldo to set up a force out is because the guy with the best bat today, Grant Beyer, is on deck.
And then maybe you do that to him if you're able to get Waldo here, who is 0 for 4 today.
Here's the 0-1. That one will bounce. It will start to get away from Simpson, but it went to the right of Simpson, so it was much harder to grasp the depth perception of how far the ball was getting away from Charlie Simpson. So the runner at third in Klutwick stayed put. And if that ball had gone to the left, Klutwick maybe took off, maybe might be taking off for home. But going to the right, he really couldn't tell how far away it bounced away from Simpson.
Which is a huge break for the Govs, as it's now 1-1 with still runner second and third rather than Aberdeen being up by a 1 run, which could be the deciding run here in this 2-2 ball game.
1-1 pitch, wind up, delivers for Danberg, swing and a miss, and a off-speed curveball. It's a big pitch there from Danberg. And the count goes now 1-2. He'll be looking for the strikeout is Danberg.
Yeah, big pitch right here. 1-2 count.
Runners at second and third in a 2-2 game here at the top of the 10th. 1-2. Popped up, center field. Hunsley will come in. He will shoot 4 as he'll make the catch, but it was not far enough. He was just a couple steps away from the infield. That was basically the second baseman that backed up to make the catch, but Hunsley, the center fielder, came in to grab it, and there's now 2 down. And now do you put Grant Beyer on at first?
I think you have to. That would be the wise decision by the coaching staff, because really his run doesn't mean anything, and he has been the best bat for Aberdeen.
It looks like they're going to go after Grant Beyer to try and get out of this inning.
Wow.
He singled in the second, homered in the 4th, then he popped out in foul territory in the 6th and grounded back to the pitcher in the 8th. First pitch here to Grant Beyer is missing upstairs for ball 1.
And maybe if he had one more hit as opposed to the 2 that he had early in the game, maybe they look at intentionally walking him. But I think the Governor coaching staff has some faith that they've been able to get him out the last 2 times he's come to the plate.
So the count's 1-0. Maybe it's see if you can throw a ball to get him to swing and just pop it up. Not putting anything close for him to hit. Here's a ground ball to O'Brien at third. It's a good play for O'Brien over to third, to first for Buckles, retires this side, and that's why you go after Grant Beyer. Get him to ground down to the third baseman. So runners at second and third with 1 out. They don't score to Aberdeen. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. To the bottom of the 10th we go. Still a 2-2 tie between Pierre and Aberdeen. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Becky Potsaba and State Farm Insurance are here to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
It is the bottom of the 10th, still 2-2 of the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. It is for the Governors, 5, 6, and 7. Ridge Linebach, Trevor Rounds, J.J. Buckles. Can they find 1 run here in the bottom of the 10th inning? And by the way, until we hear something different, still got another game to play, Blake.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know why would we hear it. The only reason I think we would hear anything different is because of what rain has fallen so far, which, I mean, everything's so dry, it's not really going to make that big of a difference. But then also just the temperatures. That'd be the only thing that kind of maybe says if we end the fact that we're in 10 innings right now.
Right. Maybe save both teams some pitching potentially, but at least as of right now, we're still anticipating that Game 2 will be approximately 30 minutes after the start of Game 1.
Don't have to water the field after
That's right.
Game 1. Just maybe re-chalk it. Here's the first pitch to Ridge Leimbach that is missing high and inside for ball 1. Leimbach is 1 for 4 in this game. Usually you're talking about a guy that's 1 for 4, like maybe the first at-bat in game number 2. Here's a ground ball to the right side. That's going to get through for a base hit. Right past the pitcher in Ladner and through the right side of the infield as a second baseman in Bayer couldn't make the play. And it's now a leadoff single for Leimbach. And it's Trevor Rounds. And does he try and bunt to move the man over to second?
I think that's entirely possible with a guy that's got extra base hit potential and J.J. Buckles following him. Not that Trevor Rounds doesn't. He obviously does. He has a triple today. But I think you take your chances with the speed of Rounds, maybe trying to force a bad throw from an Aberdeen fielder and putting some pressure on him by laying one down here.
Jaron Deal will come in to run for Ridge Leimbach. And so a little bit of extra speed now at first base. Pickoff attempts, and back in standing up is Deal. The last thing you want is to get picked off at first base when you initially get out on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big spot for Deal. People might say, well, he's just running bases. You got to run the bases very smartly as the first pitch is over for strike 1 to Trevor Rounds, who was not looking to bunt the ball. You have to be smart on the base pass if you're Deal.
Yep, absolutely.
0-1 pitch. That one just missing. That one might have been better than the first pitch, but either way, it's 1-1. From up here, I think it still would have been 1-1 either way. Pickoff attempt. Really no play over at first base.
Deal is not taking a very big lead over there. I think he's playing things smart after the pitcher tried to back pick him quick pick him off that first pickoff attempt.
1-1 pitch. That one's grounded over the right side. No chance for 2. The field by Bayer. The throw to first will be in time. And there is now 1 down here in the bottom of the 10th. So it's not a sacrifice for Rounds, but it works effectively like your sacrifice. And there's 1 out and a runner on at second. And it's J.J. Buckles who will try and drive in the game-winning run here at the bottom of the 10th.
Yeah, JJ, a lot of extra base potential on a swing. If he squares one up, would easily end the game, but even a single, probably with the speed of Jaron Deal at second, would potentially end this ball game.
So Buckles digs in. He's 0 for 3 so far with a sacrifice bunt. That'll be blocked up. Good block there by Hoffman, not allowing Deal over at second to even think about going to third. Buckles, who struck out in the second, ground out in the 4th, flew out in the 6th, sacrifice bunt in the 8th. That one's over for a strike on the outside corner, and the count's even at 1-1.
And they really must be worried about the speed of Jaron Deal, because the shortstop is literally holding Jaron Deal on at second base. At least he did for the first 2 pitches. I don't know that I've ever seen that from a second baseman or a shortstop.
This will bounce again, and Hoffman's able to block it up to make it 2-1. And that allows Buckles just to hit a sharp grounder to really where the shortstop would be playing,
right,
to win the ball game.
It's a huge hole between third and short right now.
Yeah, Malsum is over at second. He's basically on the bag at second by the time the pitch starts. As Buckles will reach for that one, flight out to right field. The catch will be made by the right fielder. Deal will fake the tag, and a good throw from Bowman. Maybe a little bit offline, but you don't want to make that third out at third. And it brings up now Porter Hunsley to try and win the ball game.
Another big at bat for the freshman in Hunsley. Nice throw there in the outfield
by Bowman.
To keep Deal at second. And another big at-bat here for the Governors here with 2 outs.
Hunsley, who does have a single so far in this game. That'll be missing low for ball 1. He is 1 for 2 so far. A walk, a sac fly RBI in the 4th, single in the 6th, and a pop out to the first baseman in the 8th. Runner on at second with 2 away. Basic can win the ball game. That'll be just outside. The count's now 2-0 here to Hunsley. This is number 8 man in the batting order. Parker O'Brien would follow, then get to the top of the order.
And it looked like Coach Rowie maybe told Porter Hunsley to take this one here.
2-0. It'll be a swinging base hit up the middle. Rounding third is Deal. The throw will come to the plate, but Deal slips and falls. The ball will still get away to the backstop. Deal will come in to score, and the Governors will win the ball game. A walk-off single for Porter Hunsley, but the run scores on a throwing error. And a 3-2 win for the Governors in Game 1. Here the home opener, 3-2 in 10 innings. Pierre wins it. Back in 2 minutes to wrap it up. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
For over 60 years, Ferding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Ferding Electric has you covered. And if you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Ferding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684. Venture Communications has deep roots in rural South Dakota. Venture now proudly provides fiber to the home with 100% of our customers, enabling them to enjoy super fast and reliable internet connections. We'd like the opportunity to keep you in touch with the people and resources that matter most. 100% fiber and 100% committed to rural South Dakota. Call Venture Communications today at 605-852-2224, 605-852-2224, or online at venturecom.net.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
We welcome you back. It is a final in game number 1. It is a win for the Pierre Governors, 3-2 in 10 innings. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean. And what a first game it was. We've got some totals to bring you. We don't even have everything totaled up because we had to go through, make sure we had 10 innings worth of stuff to get you. But a 3-2 win as the Governors had 14 hits. 8 hits for Aberdeen, 3 runs, 14 hits, 1 error, 11 men left on base for the Governors. 2 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors, and 8 men left on base for Aberdeen. As Will Danberg will get the win, going 3 2/3 innings, allowing just 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Jackson Ladner will be the losing pitcher as he went an inning and 2/3, giving up 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, and no strikeouts. As it is it was an error on the center fielder. Ridge Leinbach led off the inning with the base hit in the start of the bottom of the 10th inning. Rounds grounded out 4-3 on the putout. That was basically a sacrifice, doesn't go down as one. Then J.J. Buckles flies out to right field. Jaron Deal, who was at second, running for Leinbach. Porter Hunsley had a base hit in the center field. The throw coming in, Deal slipped and fell, whether he was trying to stop and go back to third or he just slipped and fell. The ball got away from the catcher on the throw from the center fielder Aviles, which allowed Deal to turn back around and then score, a la Tampa Bay winning over Los Angeles in the World Series in 2020, because it was I think that's the only other time I've ever seen something like that, especially end a baseball game. That was a wild way to end a 10-inning game that was 3-2.
Yeah, and almost played out the exact same way from that Tampa base course, because I'm pretty sure that was an extra inning game as well.
Yeah.
10th inning, and the runner rounding second slips and falls, ball gets away from the catcher, and he ends up being able to score anyway. What an exciting ending to this home opener for the Cubs at Hyde Stadium. I don't know how we're going to top that in Game 2, John, but, you know, like we said, by all accounts, we will have a Game 2 as far as we're aware.
Well,
we will keep you updated unless we hear anything different.
I was going to say, with all the field work going on right now, we're definitely having Game 2.
That's true.
Yeah, but Will Danberg will get the win. And we have to give hats off to the starting pitchers for both these teams, but especially for the Pierre Governors in Weston Northrop, who went 6 1/3, giving up 2 runs on 7 hits, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. A huge job by Weston Northrop to give this Governor team a chance in the later innings. Got into the 7th before he ended up coming out with 87 pitches thrown. Great pitching by the Governors in both Northrop and then Danberg, who picks up the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't say enough about the job that both of those young men did, Weston Northrop and Will Danberg. You know, Danberg's going to go down as the pitcher of record, picking up the win for the Govs, but what a job by Northrop, going 6 1/3, only allowing 2 runs to score from an Aberdeen Smitty lineup that had put together 43 runs out in Rapid City in their first 2 ball games of the year, holding them to 2 runs and 7 hits through 10 innings by those 2 guys. You can't ask for anything more from 2 guys throwing 10 innings on top of that. Just a fantastic pitching outing by the Govs, and that's why they're able to win this ball game 3-2. 3 runs on 13 hits. A lot of chances for the Govs here in this home opener that they weren't able to cash in on, but they cashed in when it mattered because their quality pitching allowed them to do so.
Who needs a pitch clock? 10 innings went 2 hours and 31 minutes.
Right, that was kind of what I was thinking.
Pretty quick game for a 10-inning baseball game. A lot of major league games don't go that way, and they have a pitch clock on their hand. But, yeah, time of the ball game was 2 hours and 31 minutes. 3-2 win for the Governors, having 14 hits in 10 innings. 3 runs, 14 hits, 1 error, and 11 men left on base. 2 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors, and 8 men left on base for Aberdeen in Game 1. We still got Game number 2, which will be coming up somewhere maybe around 15, 20 minutes from now to get us going for our second game of our doubleheader. We will step aside. We will come back, and we'll have News Director Zach Nelson will have his 5 o'clock news about 2.5 hours later than he normally does. But we'll hear from the 5 o'clock news. We will end our video broadcast here on KCCR. We'll start our second video broadcast just prior to our second game. We're really getting going with our second game broadcast. We'll have that coming up here in just a little bit. Game 1 win goes to Pierre Governors over Aberdeen. We'll step aside for 3 minutes and come back with News Director Zach Nelson and his news coming up here on KCCR on YouTube at KCCR.